think it's changed.
Well, shit. I don't know what the new YouTube link is then.
Let me see if I can pull it. Let's see if I can change the. There we go.
Okay. I got the
and we are in fact live.
Yeah,
we're
we're live.
So
we're just having to reboot our audience. Hey guys, yeah, so we had some technical difficulties. We had to reboot our stream. Sorry about that. We're just gonna quickly blast some messages out to all the groups before the game gets started. But yeah, thanks for bearing with us.
Blame Rob.
Yeah, Rob left the stream and everything crashed, so I don't know what happened.
By the way, Avi, when you have a chance to send over the link for the stream.
Yeah, sorry. I was about to do that, and then 1 second.
And then things went goofy.
Then everything died. It's a good omen.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna send to both of them. I don't remember which one is the one to use.
Okay.
Boom. Did you get it? All right, game's about to start. Looks like pretty nice weather today, 60 degrees, no humidity, a little bit of wind. Cal's gonna receive the kick.
Which is not common for Wilcox, so you have to imagine Stanford won the toss.
Avi, are you watching on Fox 40 or Fox 2?
Whatever the one in the Bay is. I think it's Fox 2. So okay. 2? They're on both?
Well, in any case, I'm booting up. Oh, well, okay. Restart. Apparently, I can't watch that in my area because that's the Bay Area coverage and the Sacramento folks.
Yeah, you have to.
That's just not allowed.
Yeah, you have to. Interesting. Oh, does Fox 40 work there?
Well, I'm about to find out. Come on, computer, you can do it. I believe in you.
I think the chat's even further ahead of us. Looks like something good's about to happen.
Well, that's good. Well, I guess they'll just keep us alert.
So I mean, I've got it on my TV.
Oh, I'm going to start ignoring the chat if that's the case.
1st and 10 at the 25. We get a little run up the middle and wide open space.
Oh, love it.
That. Good blocking on the right late side.
We're already almost to the 50.
Yeah, Dancy gets the start, it looks like, instead of Brown. Brown is available. Chris Brown is listed as available to play.
Well, not only listed, but intrepid reporter Rob saw him warming up in full uniform.
Yeah, Mike Saffel also, I believe, is available. I'm not sure if he's out there right now.
It must have been a good seal on whoever is playing right tackle today.
Yeah, good early start. High throw from Garbers to Crawford, but he does get close to the first down marker.
Easy 8 yards on first down. Like, that's the type of play you'd think would be available a lot. I don't think Stanford's going to be playing a lot of press, particularly on Crawford, so those short throws should be available.
Yeah, Putasi gets the start, and
Interesting.
Roma's on left tackle. So Melo's, I think, not playing. Cindric and
No, Mello was the right tackle.
oh, sorry, Mel's the right tackle. So Cindric isn't playing right now. It's Matauer, and then Saffel is starting.
Easy to keep track of. Piece of cake.
Tough run, a lot of penetration that time. It's gonna set up 3rd and short.
Well, we lost some yardage on that play, didn't we?
Yeah, about a yard or two.
So it'll be a 3rd and short. Bears are running a little bit better than last week, though.
I mean, sample size of 2.
I know. Clearly, I can extrapolate everything from that.
Well, I mean, that first run, 24 yards. I mean, is that our longest run of the year?
Probably
I think
up
so.
there.
All right, what do we have on 3rd and 3?
Oh, nice play action, easy first down.
Good. We should have gone for it if we needed to, but I'm glad that we don't need to.
Yeah, so Reinwald curled down to the flat. There's a lot of biting on the inside, and yeah, it's a quick rub route by Reinwald. Easy pick and catch.
So Avi, right now you are just a touch ahead of me. So it's not, maybe 3-4 seconds, which is not a big deal
Yeah, that's not
compared
too
to our
bad.
usual gap.
And this is really good run blocking. Like, us open gaps for Cal in the run game.
Good seal on the outside.
Yeah, tight ends blocking well. Good seal by the, I believe, tight ends on that end. Then there was a nice pull.
Moore with
corner.
an early carry. Interesting. Chris Brown has not yet had a carry, but 2 other running backs have. Was
You have
that
to imagine
Schlegel?
Brown's not playing then at this rate.
I do wonder if they're just going to hold him in case like things get dire. But I do think they feel good with who they have.
Boy, it would make a huge difference if we could actually run the ball today.
Oh, nice run to the flats. Again, Stanford just whiffing on tackles on the outside. It's now Cal in the red zone.
Or if we can just run swing passes, but Stanford's defense is so crummy that they go for 9 yards. That's the same type of swing pass that went for 2 yards against UCLA.
Yeah, the Stanford defense is just definitely a very much like an inferior version of their past predecessors. They haven't played well in their first 2 weeks this season either.
That was a good block from Remigio to take out one of the 2 Stanford defenders, but the other Stanford defender should not have been so easily juked. I'm glad he was.
First down, another. They're just gashing them right now. This is open pennant. Just easy blocks. Stanford is just way behind the 8 ball to start.
You think this is what Wilcox has in mind, and this is his ideal version of Cal offense?
That was a good poll.
This is my ideal version of Cal offense. 2nd and 4. Looks like it's going to be another run. Oh, no. It's a fake. And touchdown, Cal.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pumped.
I saw the chat say "yay touchdown" a couple seconds ago, so I was ready for this one.
That was one of the most. That was
Best
one of the
drive
easiest.
of the year.
Yeah, that's probably the best drive in a couple of years. That was one of the easiest touchdown drives for Cal since maybe the Oregon State game 2 years ago.
That's actually a fair point. I think there was exactly one unsuccessful play on the drive.
Yeah, there was one
that 2nd down run that got stuffed.
Yeah, there was one stuff and that was it. But for the most part, it was easy pitch and go on each drive. They just got everything what they want from their blocks, and it's 7-0 California.
Good break from Crawford there on that outrunning pattern. Got a lot of separation.
Yeah, if Stanford can't stop the run, they're just in deep trouble because they don't have enough bodies to commit to the line and then play one-on-one coverage. They need to have be able to play zone on the backside.
Tingles. Oh my God.
You got the vapors.
Competent offense. Right out of the
Michael,
gate. I
feel
love
free
it.
to spoil as much as you want. It's big game day. Do whatever
Yeah,
you want.
No, spoil the good news, but
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You're a very kind person, but just go and emote.
Gerardo, comment on Damian Moore. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's like at that Java Chain level. Like Java was really special as a freshman, but I think he's like, I think more of like a Forsett type where he's like showing the ability to like just chug out yards with like good blocking, and he's like really been effective with the touches he's gotten.
just the fact that he's getting touches when there are 3 upperclassmen options is an indication of what the coaching staff thinks of him. So that's always a good sign.
Yeah, I think the other big thing is just like the offensive line, the backups, they played really well. Like Michael asking how many stars do we have left? We had 2, Saffel and Matauer.
Tower.
But you saw like Cal getting a lot of penetration on the outside zone where they were like pushing guard. They were just pushing like the DNs like well back on their stats as well as linebackers.
And we saw that last week. It wasn't a pretty game overall, but the O-line was doing pretty well for makeshift thrown together unit.
Yeah.
Well, how exciting is it going to be next year when we have 9 returning starters on the offensive line?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Who needs tight ends and wide receivers? We can just have a quarterback, a running back, and 9 offensive linemen.
So I'm trying to look at the stats on that drive, but it looks like the stats monitor is not working at the moment. So I will get you those stats when we can, but pretty effective start for Cal.
I'm going to pull up the ESPN stat broadcast. It's usually pretty up to date and accurate.
I'm going to do my best Rob impression and just remind everyone, if you're watching on Periscope, we recommend you watch on YouTube. It's easier to follow along and comment with us.
Yeah, ask questions if you got them. Michael says Cal 21 is Nebraska of the 80s. I don't think we're going to run QB option, but I'd be very excited to see that. I have not seen some QB option offense in quite some time.
We could also try to follow some men's basketball scores from around the country. Oh, UCLA has tied it up against Pepperdine. Come on, Waves.
Kickoff. I think it went to the end zone. Did it go to the end zone? Yeah. Okay. So it's a touchback. That one got really close.
Longhetto, right?
Yeah, that was close. That was nearly another 40 yards.
Out.
Well, Davis Mills. I've liked what I've seen from Mills this year. So he's been a little bit better than Costello. But
those stats they put up was a reminder that Mills actually looked quite good against Cal in the first half last year and then really didn't do a whole lot in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, he basically had like one nice throw to start the game, and then it was just kind of like the usual Dick and Doug Stanford offense.
Please stuff Stanford first down run. Oh my gosh, it's a first down pass. It didn't really go anywhere, but
Tavita Pritchard turning it up. Yeah, for Stanford, I think the biggest people we should be watching maybe is Fehoko and Weddington. Like, they'll probably, and as I say his name, he is targeted right down the middle.
Still third down, though.
Moao Sifa is starting. His first start as a Cal Bear, I think. He didn't start last week.
No.
If I remember correct.
Yeah, that's a big change at middle linebacker.
Yeah, third and short. Really nice to get a stop here, but this is tough. This will be tough sledding without a nose.
Yeah, Brett Johnson still at nose tackle, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Ooh, a read option, which I think Stanford just gets.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't recall if I have seen Davis Mills run a read option before. I don't think he would have gotten that if he hadn't had a lineman literally pull
that wasn't Mills.
Across
that
the
was a
line.
direct snap.
Oh yeah, that was Sanders.
Okay.
Yeah, Sanders.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, they
Well, he still wouldn't have gotten it if it weren't for the lineman pulling him across the line, I think. Deng probably would have pulled him backwards otherwise.
Well, oh, nice. Looks like it was a pass deflection at the line of scrimmage. And was that Brett Johnson? I think it was.
I think it might have just hit off of a Stanford offensive lineman.
But I think it might have been done because Johnson kept on pushing the guy back.
Oh, yeah, that could well be.
Stanford going to the hurry up. Interesting.
I don't even know this team anymore.
Who are these guys? These imposters. Flag. Looks like it's a false start. I think the wide receiver got a little jumpy.
That
Yeah.
hurry up, it's throwing them off. They're not used to it.
Too much.
Stanford, not the type of team that can generally overcome flags on offense.
So it's 2nd and 15. This is like the worst place for Stanford to be. They do not have a really explosive offense to get like 15 yards in 2 plays.
We can get away with putting 5 guys out in coverage. We only have 6 in the box right now.
Yeah, but looks like
We only rushed 3.
it's right. It's like Bynum got a little
Disappointing
lost
to give
there.
up 10 yards when we only rushed 3 like that. But
Yeah.
well, it's still 3rd down. Let's get a stop.
It looks like Drayden pushed him off to Bynum. Bynum played soft in the zone, and then Fehoko had a nice little area to attack. 3rd and 4. Stanford again in shotgun, using 2 wide out left, and again just able to attack those little flats in the middle and pick and patch for a 1st down.
So far, Stanford has run the ball once, and it was a wildcat read option. It's frustrating. I suspect that we will have gotten Stanford in time for them to realize that pounding their head against a wall is not a successful offensive formula.
It's a little frustrating, but I think it's going to be really hard for Stanford to win if they don't get some running because, as you see there, if Cal can just rush 4 and get pressure.
There you go. Take him down.
Yeah, again, Brett
J.H.
Johnson.
Tevis.
Brett Johnson getting disruption up the middle, forces Mills to step up. Tevis finish it off. And Mills also isn't like a quarterback who can run, so it's really difficult for him to scramble for yards.
I'd like to see a replay of that just to see who was blocking Johnson on Stanford's line. Because if it was Dahlman, he's supposed to be Stanford's, next excellent offensive lineman. But it might have been the left guard. I didn't get a good look at it.
Yeah, it's tough to see. Wilson jukes a tackler.
But we've got guys to clean up.
Yeah, clean up on the backside. Drayden and Bynum both missed on that. Deng had to finish it. You do see the linebackers playing much more like in the passing game right now because they're less concerned about Stanford's run game.
So the good news so far is that we've been very good at forcing 3rd down attempts. We just haven't been able to get off the field yet.
Yeah, Cal's playing really soft zone at this point. Haven't really tried to challenge them too deep. And, Mills overthrew that time. So it's 4th down.
Dare they go for it? This is not Jet Toner range.
Is anything Jet Toner range these days?
It depends on whether or not you've gotten your latest ink shipment.
Nope. David Shaw, good old reliable, 4th and 6.
He's punting?
On his own 30, on this Cal 39. Just going to let it go.
All right, we have our first sad punt of the game. Big Game is already delivering.
Net, but the net is pretty good. It is pinned inside the 10. So it does pay off a little bit, maybe. Question, are Bynum and Good playing? Yes, they are. Thanks for Renee for checking that out. And let's see if there are any questions from the chat. How impacted is the Cal D by COVID? I think only the nose guard. We had a nose guard situation with McKenzie and Maldonado. Now Maldonado is just out for the season, and McKenzie is not playing.
Other than Croteau, I don't know if anybody on the defense is out because of COVID. Although we're always kind of speculating here because the information that we're given by the program is not generally very. But usually they'll say like upper body, lower body at least. So when we don't hear that, we tend to assume COVID.
Do we have a reason for why Tattersall's out?
I think Tattersall just got replaced because they think ISF is better right now. I imagine we'll see Tattersall on the field at some point today. He wasn't listed as being out in any of the pregame releases that I saw. So,
yeah, I think Tattersall's available. He's just not starting. Drew asks, why aren't we dialing up the blitz? We keep dropping 7. I guess the big thing is just right now we don't like Mills has a decent deep arm, so we don't want to like give up like plays right now, especially with Stanford not like showing much in the run game either. So until like Stanford proves that they can just like methodically beat us down the field, I think we're just gonna play base as much as possible. Hey, are you all doing the Miller Universe? Or is this your version of Smothering Blue Steel?
Sorry, we're not ESPN level TV host like you, Code, but this is the best we can do for the 3 of us.
I mean, if you're going for goatee, you should go back and watch the Oregon State men's basketball broadcast when I had a 5-day beard going. Today it's just a lazy 1-day beard. If Cal were playing a couple months in the pandemic, I had my pathetic pandemic non-goatee that I could have had. I joked to my wife that I might consider not shaving until Cal football won a game. But when it became clear that that might mean not shaving until next September, that plan went out the window.
Who's going to have more yards today, the Stanford punter or the Stanford quarterback? That's a good question.
Well, if Shaw's going to insist on throwing the vast majority of the time,
yeah, there's
we still only have one run so far, and it wasn't exactly a traditional handoff. This is, I think Shaw saw the results of the first 2 games and radically rejiggered how he wants to try to score points.
Yeah, Cal decides to pass on first down, and that was not go well.
Delayed blitz there from Stanford, and Garbers.
Yeah, pretty smart.
Didn't really avoid it.
He made the first man miss, but then he got eaten up by the rest of the D-line.
That's 2nd and long now, and I think Cal might just try and salvage what they can.
I would like to get a little more room for our punting unit at a minimum after what happened last week.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Stuff up the middle. So it's 3rd and long. Doesn't look like Cal's in good position to do anything on this drive. But yeah, maybe David Shaw's you just hate to say it when David Shaw's like conservatism pays off. 3rd and long, shotgun formation. Not much downfield at this point. And Chase will get the yards needed for like a more comfortable punt.
Yeah. Here comes a field position battle.
Yeah, that does help. I honestly, I hate saying that I would take an 8-9 yard run on 3rd and 15, but there are worse times to do that. Now, have we kind of figured out our punting unit woes?
The fun part begins.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Again, good penetration. I mean, I think that punt, I mean, it worked out, but that punt like had like no hang time. It came down fast.
He just had
So
to get rid of that. That was
yeah, because
scary.
it was the pressure was coming. You just had to boot that one.
Well, and as a consequence of Stanford sending all those guys at the punter, that means there was nobody left to block. So you can get away with a limited hang time punt when they're not going to have anybody to protect the returner. All in all, I'll take that. Stanford lost a lot of yards in the exchange.
Rob is telling us he's 2 plays ahead of us at Memorial. Yes, Rob, I think being there does help in watching the game faster.
High quality analysis here at Right for Cal.
Now,
So
do we
do
have
it.
anybody on Tightwad Hill live tweeting the game?
I did see a dude with a 420 shirt. I need to see if I can find that screenshot.
Well, that dude's probably 5 plays behind, even if he's there in person.
Usually this is where no contact CFB Twitter account helps me, but I guess he's a Stanford fan, so he's probably focused on the game right now.
Meanwhile, for some reason, the ESPN stat tracker is showing absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah.
Same, I think, for the Cal stat site. Oh no, that's finally updated.
Yeah, it's finally updated. Well, sort of. It's still kind of lagging. I think, when was the last time Cal led in the first quarter in a big game? Didn't we last year?
I was going to say, I feel like we maybe started with a field goal last year or something like that.
No, Stanford scored in the first drive. It was
Yeah.
the Mills to wherever that guy was.
That's right. God.
Actually, it might have been the 2016 game. I think we led 7-0, and then McCaffrey went off. Just need to keep Stanford to field goals. I mean, that's not a terrible strategy, I don't think. Hold on.
That was the analysis we got in our Stanford enemy Q&A. So some deep thoughts over there.
Stanford ran 9 plays on that drive for 41 yards. So they're not
Classic.
even averaging 5 yards a play. They're just converting their first downs.
Yeah, Mills 5 for 7, 42 yards. So he's getting completions. It's just nothing too substantive at this point.
Well, he's got no wide receivers on the field on first down, so I feel like I know what Stanford might do here.
Well, they try to crash to the outside, and they do get a couple of yards.
Pretty good, yeah.
I mean, Stanford should be able to get pushed. They still have like a pretty good offensive line, even though it's not like the quality of like past Stanford teams. So I would imagine they'll try and run the ball a little bit more.
Maybe they're trying to catch us off guard on that first drive, but we responded reasonably well to it.
Yeah, on that play, I think Iosefa blew it up. He got penetration up top and forced Jones to bounce to the outside, and he was not able to get to a gap. So it's now 3rd and 5. No
yeah,
game.
That was good. One guy blowing up by getting into the backfield, but everybody else held the point of attack too. So even when he bounced it, there wasn't anywhere to bounce it to. That was nice.
It's now 3rd and 5.
Come on, Bears.
Cal has a 4-1-2-3-4-2 formation, so nickel. So there's going to be an open seat and another nice stick. So Stanford going to those stick routes, so where the wide receiver will just stop in the soft spot of the zone. And I mean, Mills is hitting them, so they'll move the chains.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing to have a guy open that far downfield on a 3rd down.
Yes, Stanford is sticking to shotgun set, a lot of 4 mints, formations.
Not
Oh,
sure
what
why
a
we-
catch.
Why'd we give him inside leverage on that third down play?
Yeah, that's a nice catch on that play by
Almost got
Weddington.
back on that play though. Someone was bearing down from behind.
Yeah, that's a tough swing play right there. We were inches away from a sack, and instead they get a play that's like 20 yards going the other way.
I think it might have been Cam Good.
Yeah, targeted shoot. I think that's Chigozie.
Well, we're getting good Davis Mills so far, which is frustrating.
I mean, Mills had some pretty good starts in the last 2 games. What are they reviewing?
There might be a targeting.
On Good?
All I saw was helmet to helmet on the tackle. It's
Interesting.
unclear to me of whether or not. That's just my speculation based on what I saw.
Oh,
Anybody
That's
see who
Drayden?
the player making the tackle was?
was that Iosefa?
It's number 26.
Woodson.
Oh, Craig Woodson. Well, that'd be a big loss. We need our safeties.
He didn't really lead with the helmet, but he sort of let the Stanford guy run into his helmet.
Yeah, that feels like a targeting. It's
That
like
there was
really-
helmet to helmet contact isn't really in dispute. So yeah, I don't think you can be surprised if Woodson gets tossed for this.
Yeah, it's not good. So we're fine with Good, but we're saved. No disqualification. It was close. I don't think he meant to lean with the shoulder, but the helmet just hit the helmet. So we keep our safety.
Phew. Dodged a bullet there. That felt like a 50-50 call that could have easily gone against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not losing the yardage helps too.
Stanford goes to empty. This time they'll do just a little dump off, but they get yards out of it. Like a pretty good set. Yeah, Cal's had trouble like tackling in open space this year. Like this is like the Evan Weaver kind of like tax we were paying right now, where we were just like be the guy to like plug up a bunch of these mid range plays.
Or is that from the loss of Gerald Alexander, who was apparently point in teaching coaching, or sorry, in coaching tackling?
Yeah, that is a difference there. You tackle that guy and push him backwards, that's maybe 2 yards, but let him fall forward, that's an extra 3.
This is just a run up the middle. Good penetration again that time. Stanford now starting to really assert themselves in the run game.
This is more what I was expecting to do.
Yeah. Yeah, look, double team on the left side, big hole. So actually 32 came in and kind of prevented that from going any further. So now it's a 3rd and short. And you know if it's 4th and short, Shaw's going to kick it. So this is kind of a big moment here. Oh, that's excellent penetration of the middle. I think Zionde kind of blew that play up. Zionde blew it up and Cameron Good finished it. Yeah, that was just really good gang tackling by Cal, and Stanford is kicking the field goal. Jet toner time. And is Nick frozen?
Uh-oh.
Nick,
Yep, I think we're down to 2.
I don't know. Nick, where'd you go? I'll be back. So, the first quarter's over. That went by
Very quickly.
It's 7-0 Cal. Stanford will probably try and attempt a field goal, and it'll be 7-3 at the other side.
Although apparently, according to the comments, ESPN is saying Stanford 7, Cal 0. Some classic Stanford grade inflation going on.
I know. Stanford doing the heavy work. ESPN doing the heavy work for them.
Hello,
Rob-
Sydney.
Hello, Sydney. Rob, you joining us? You saying hi? No? He's on mute.
He's being very professional. He's not going to say anything. He's trying
Okay.
to be a professional sports broadcaster.
Yeah, Rob's in the box. If you guys have any questions from the perspective inside of Memorial, feel free to ask them. Rob will answer them. Kodiak asks, for a veteran secondary, is the soft coverage due to, I'm not sure what the CONC stands for, concentration maybe with defensive linemen? Or is TP hoarding? I mean, the secondary is definitely like that. There's a lot of vets, but the safeties, I mean, it's definitely a really inexperienced unit. Hicks is playing safety. He's never played safety before this year, or at least since high school, I don't think. And then Scott is obviously in his first year starting. So we're still playing with a lot of safety and experience. So I think we're just trying to be cautious with like giving up big plays, especially after the last couple of weeks where we have given up big plays based off of like safeties making poor reads. So I think it's important to like, I think what they tried to emphasize this week in practice was try and avoid giving up big plays. So Cal would not like be bitten by like a 75-yard touchdown or something like that. But yeah, defensive line also is an issue there. Yeah, I'm not sure where Nick is. Let me message him. Hopefully his internet didn't go out. Whereas we have to talk a lot more.
Yeah. But we do have a nice UC Berkeley commercial that Rob's missing out on.
Yeah, I've never seen this one. It's they got this thing called What You See, and then UC Berkeley. It's pretty clever. That's a pretty clever play on words. I hope they play that for 10 years. Let me see if I can get you guys some stats. Looks like it's up to date now. Yeah, Stanford actually did have more yards in that first quarter, 89 yards, but I think they ran like 5 more plays. Cal is averaging 7.4 yards per play. Stanford only 1.7 yards per rush, but they're getting almost 10 yards per completion. So Stanford currently having a little bit more success in the passing game to start. And yeah, just pretty balanced to start. But Cal does get the stop in the red zone that Stanford didn't get on their side.
Now we can see Jet Toner, see if he can nail this kick.
Yeah, he missed, I think, 2 from this range in Oregon last week, 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago.
At this point.
Yeah, it's been a while. He's back.
So when I left, or more accurately, when my internet abandoned me, we had just stuffed them on 3rd down, and Stanford was contemplating what to do as the quarter expired. Did they kick the cowardly field goal?
They did.
Of course
Yes.
they did.
Yes, cowardly field goal. We've got cowardly punt and cowardly field goal. I'm well on my way to David Shaw bingo.
Also, when you left, the comments all just blew up of asking where you went. So
Yeah,
congratulations on being beloved.
I'm okay, everybody.
and the viewership just like dropped off the sky.
It turns out that trying to stream the game on 2 different devices while streaming this stream on my iPad is maybe a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm full of those these days. Sorry
The
about that.
sacrifices you make for the fans.
I keep on forgetting like most of America has like terrible internet, and I'm on like fiber, and it's like I can stream on 3 devices and have like no drop. But that's not the rest of the country.
So are we going to start a GoFundMe to get Nick some better internet?
Usually
really
it's
think-
all right.
Nick was really playing League of Legends on the side. I don't know.
would the
Nick is more of a
one-
civilization type of guy.
Why would the one non-Asian person on the stream be the one playing League?
Ah, League of Legends is inclusive, right?
I know Larry was big on it.
I'm too old for League. I've never played it. Rob is probably going crazy that none of us are familiar with League.
Yeah, he's just stuck on mute for now. We should say things about League of Legends that are not true. Let's see. You guys have any questions? Oh,
So let's
Okay.
see.
I think I'm the boss man. No.
Yes.
Listen,
That's accurate.
listen, I don't give orders. I just show up occasionally and pretend to be in charge. So I guess if that qualifies me as boss man, I'll take it, but I don't really have any authority.
I pledge fealty to Avinash in all things in life.
It is true. They nominated me, knowing fully well that I would not show up for like half the things we do anymore.
Oh, my screen is showing Marshawn giving away turkeys. My day is already better.
Yeah. I mean, just look at that monument. Oh, interesting. They have Marshawn at the top with Ted the Bear, Oski, and I believe Winnie the
Winnie the
Pooh.
Pooh.
I think
Or-
Yogi was there as well.
Oh, geez. Well, yeah.
We
Look
need
out
to
for
do
your
a
picnic
fictional
baskets.
bear power ranking.
Oof. Well, that'll take some time.
Yeah.
Gotta get the wee bears up there.
Oh God. I mean, the creator is a Cal alum, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably in homage. He does have an axe in a bunch of those like episodes. Percentage chance the Cal wins is really early. I would say the win probability is maybe at like 58%. We could probably check on
I'm-
ESPN.
Unfortunately, predicting a Stanford win. I don't think Cal can keep up.
Let's see, Nick, what is your favorite game day food? California rolls or nachos?
I
Interesting.
am
Two
not
picks.
so much a sushi guy, so I guess of those two, nachos. But honestly, I cannot eat during Cal games. My stomach does not allow me to enjoy food when Cal is playing. I can eat pregame, so whatever comes off the grill is good, but
What do you have
Cal
against
does it-
sushi?
Cal attempts to run up the middle. Nothing really doing there. Setting up a 2nd and 10 or so.
so as is traditional for big games involving David Shaw, we're on a pace for about 8 possessions per team at most.
Yeah, so every possession feels pretty crucial right now. And
Yeah.
now it seems like Stanford is flying a little bit more on the ball. And, well, Nick, are we turtling already? So they try to they try to block on the outside, and no one blocked anyone.
There was somebody running a deeper route, and it was unclear to me if he was a receiver they were aiming for or a guy who was supposed to make a block. That probably would have been pass interference, so I'm glad they didn't. But
Yeah, blitz coming this time.
go, Chase, go.
What
Yeah.
a run!
Yeah, Chase. Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
Classic
again,
base.
the Chase Garber's offense still Cal's best play.
Hmm.
Unscripted play, I'd say. We wrote some nice stuff on our scripted stuff, but once like the game gets going, it's basically Chase doing stuff like this.
As soon as that late blitzer didn't get to Chase, I had flashbacks of last year's touchdown. Like the space was so clearly there.
Yeah, I mean I think Chase is really good. One of his biggest strengths is like when he identifies the blitzer, he just knows where the soft spot in the zone is going to be.
Ooh, that's a pretty decent play on first down. They're doing good
I'll
job
take
with
it.
those.
That's a nice play by Moore. He got hit out
Yeah.
of bounds. That should be a personal foul.
And then we got the flag
Yeah,
on it too.
flag.
Nice. Those pitch plays are working well. I want to see again if we had a guy pulling on that the way that we've had on previous pitch plays, but
Yeah, we're just getting like a really nice gaps right now, just like every possession. Yeah, so there's a double team up the front. We have the guard pull, and yeah, just
73
like
again, yeah. Helped seal.
yeah, 73, I believe. Is that Cindric? No, that is yeah, it's Cindric. Cindric is in the game now, and he's had like I think a couple nice plays.
That might be the most blatant late hit I've ever seen. He was just standing on the white, having with the play done, and the guy just barreled into him.
And
I like
Chase
how he just
again,
leapt
look
into
at
him.
that.
He's so
Look at-
much faster than you losers.
It's just so funny, like seeing Stanford try to get to pressure on him, and they're just like they don't have like the foot speed or the maneuverability to like catch him.
I need a gif of 21 flailing, diving futilely for Chase as he scampers away.
Where's he going? Where's he going? Cal in the red zone, and
All
this
right.
would be like really important to get a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, well, if we get to the red zone twice and punch it in both times after Stanford failed so Stanfordly on their last drive, that would be wonderful. Ooh, what was that?
Oh dear.
That was a broken play.
Yeah, that was definitely someone
could've-
whiffing.
It
Someone
could have
had
been a lot
brain
worse.
fart.
It looked for a brief second like Chase was about to shovel the ball into nobody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like he bobbled it.
Well,
He bobbled the football like when he was going backwards, and then just out of rhythm.
hmm.
Chase is 5 for 5 for 30 yards, so he has not made a mistake technically, other than taking maybe a sack.
I was gonna say the challenge is finding guys open, because now he's scrambled multiple times. I think he's
Cal's
already
gonna
had
burn
at
him.
least 3 runs plus the sack. So
Cal
about half
burns
his
timeout.
dropbacks, he hasn't been able to find anybody.
Chase is speeding past some trees.
He knows how to slalom.
Indeed. Who names their kid Thunder, as in Stanford's Thunder Keck? Is that his
It's right
name?
up there with Jet Toner.
Yeah. Let me see if I can look up the story of Thunder Keck.
Do they? That sounds like an awful country song.
He's an outside linebacker from New England. Interesting.
Wow. From New England. Well, I guess it's not a country song then.
No. I mean, they like country up there.
Oh god, his middle name is Justice. His full name is Thunder Justice Keck.
Fantastic. That was a classic Stanford name. Up there with Jet.
I'm biting my tongue.
What is Cal's second best offensive play, and why is it drawing pass interference?
I thought PI was our number 1 best offensive play.
Well,
Well,
Chase is kind of disproving of that right now.
I'm presuming the number 1 in Kodiak's list is the Chase scrambles wherever he pleases play. But maybe the best play is letting Stanford clobber us while we're out of bounds too.
Is Musgrave just hopelessly lost in the college game, or do we not have enough time to implement the offense? I've said this many times. This season is a mulligan in terms of like really extrapolating results from a system offense.
I give him an incomplete because of the time to implement the offense.
Right.
My feeling about like college versus NFL these days is that the NFL has borrowed so much from college football over the past 5 to 10 years that there shouldn't be the type of gap that there used to be, generally speaking.
But if he was sorry, go ahead.
Well, but whether or not he's implemented things is a fair question. I'm reminded of like the quote that everyone was talking about in the offseason with the wide receivers talking about how the route tree is simpler. And it might very well might be simpler, but it still sort of takes time for the quarterbacks and the wide receivers to get their timing in an offense. And I do worry that we don't really have that in the way that you'd want. So, unfortunately, like most answers to questions this year, the answer is TBD.
Cal's back. They have two wide receivers on each side, shotgun set on 2nd and 14. And
swing pass.
Swing, swing, swing.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah, Musgrave has definitely tried just like a lot of swing plays, or like.
Well, and in this particular play, when I say I don't like it, what I don't like is that Chase wasn't able to find anybody downfield. What I can't say is, did he not find anybody downfield because he made a bad read, or because nobody was open? Because the cameras aren't really giving us that information. But he had time to pick out one of his 4 downfield receivers, if any of them did in fact come open. And we need more than a yard on 2nd and 14 to state the obvious.
Right. Nice completion that time from Garbers to Crawford. Short of the first down.
For it. 4th and 3. I think
this is interesting.
I think he'll kick.
Yeah, they'll probably kick the field goal. I mean, I would kind of go for it just because.
If I had
really trust Stanford to go on a 95-yard drive.
If only we'd be able to run our 3rd down play on 2nd down.
Yeah, Asian grading. It's tough. Every part of the Asian within me wants to grade the season.
You're the Asian dad here, Code. You're the one who's the harsh grader.
And it is 10-3, California. So Bears stay up by a touchdown. Kind of a missed opportunity there, though. Could really
that
put
first
this
down
one.
Broken play really hurt.
Yeah, I think definitely the thing that is still the most in development is our quarterback wide receiver timing, where we can't really like explore too much downfield right now because we haven't had enough time to develop this new offense.
But to go back to the question from Sam about if Musgrave is behind in the college game, and Nick brought up that good point about how football trickles up from college to the NFL. So, I mean, I wonder if, since Musgrave hasn't coached in the NFL for a couple of years, and if it trickles upwards, does that mean he's even further behind the college game? And is that our bigger concern?
It's a fair question. I mean, it's definitely the thing I worried about when we hired him. How long it would take for him to be ready to handle the college speed. On the flip side, I feel like college football has been pretty professionalized in the last couple of years, where everyone is kind of running similar stuff with like shotgun spreads and like pass nickels. Everyone's emphasizing the pass game now, with a few notable exceptions. So I think like it's kind of mainstreamed in a lot of ways, where like everyone's playing like a different style of football, like outside of like the Armies of the world, but it's not that different from the college game. And on the flip side, like you see a lot of the NFL stuff in college now too, or you see a lot of college stuff in the NFL too. So it's not like 15 years ago where they were basically two different sports. Like everyone's kind of running similar stuff. Let's see. Do we have any questions in the chat? Yeah, again, if you are in the chat, feel free to leave your cues. We'll be happy to answer them. Do we have any incoming offensive recruits with breakaway speed? Yeah, we do. We actually have a couple sitting on the bench right now. I think Justin Baker is definitely someone with a lot of breakaway speed. And then Michael Sturdivant, I believe next year is going to be potentially competing for like #1 wide receiver.
Yeah, the wide receiver recruiting has been maybe the single best positional recruiting that Cal has managed over like the 2021, 22 classes right now.
Big Game legend, Burl Toller.
Getting some vintage tickets and posters as we come in out of the break.
Yeah, lots of white people. That's
Another
a better
kickoff
kickoff.
out of the end zone. Nice.
The kick special teams so far definitely a step up from last week. Hard to be worse than last week. Question: what is a West Coast offense? Well, this is.
I would say the defining characteristic would be quarterbacks under center with timing routes based on the number of steps they take in their drop back, 3-step drop, 5-step drop. And then they're supposed to be able to take those number of steps, immediately pull the ball to pass, and find a receiver making his break.
Yeah, that's kind of what Stanford's running. It's just in shotgun right now. So a lot of Stanford's plays so far have just been timing routes. And yeah, Mills is dealing. Like, he's getting what he wants right now. And that's going to probably mean Stanford is probably going to score at some point in terms of like touchdowns.
The one thing, obviously, that we've done better today compared to Oregon State and UCLA is, Stanford has had lots of successful plays, but maybe only one explosive play so far. And so, we made them drive the field on that first drive, and they ended up punting from just outside the red zone. And we made them drive that second drive, and it finally stalled out in the red zone. If we continue to cut out the chance of Stanford getting big plays, the chance of their drive stalling out somewhere increases, and that's been working so far. Hopefully we get a turnover level mistake from Mr. Mills at some point.
Yes, this is very methodical right now. This is like with the old like the first couple of David Shaw offenses before McCaffrey, where just be a lot of dink and dunk, annoying first downs that would drive people like Nick crazy.
David Shaw does drive me crazy for a variety of reasons. I've come to really respect him as an offensive guy over the years because he's learned to play to his personnel. We make fun of him a lot over, conservatism and repetitiveness, but when he got Christian McCaffrey, he found ways to get Christian McCaffrey in space to make plays. When he got JJ Arcega-Whiteside, he just threw jump balls up to a gigantic JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He knows how to call plays to emphasize the skills he has on his offense.
Good call there by Cal. Sorry, just interrupting real quick.
No, go ahead.
But Bynum made a really nice play to blow it up. It's third down. But go ahead, Nick.
I say the key for Stanford declining is that they're just running out of guys with obvious skill sets to be exploited on offense. They don't have guys that it's easy to call plays for anymore.
Yeah. 3rd and 6.
Yes.
Oh, what a play.
Yeah.
Just Stanford offensive line got blown up.
Nice little dance from Tevis and Johnson. Tevis has been better than I expected.
Yeah, he has done really well. And then 55 also.
Iosefo.
Iosefo has had a really nice game. He's made some nice plays. I think even though Cal's overall talent level is probably not as good as last year, they play really good team defense. Outside maybe a couple mistakes. They haven't really since that first touchdown against Oregon State, they've been pretty steady. Oh, is there a flag? What is this for?
Yes. I know they're looking at our sidelines and indicating decline, so I'm guessing it's not a big deal, whatever the penalty is.
Rightly said, Gerardo. It is. That's how you say it.
Mm-hmm. I'm encouraged by our ability to get pressure on Stanford on passing downs without sending a bunch of guys.
We have some
Wilcox is mad.
Got some mad Wilcox. What's going on here? blocking the back. It's not a return. If it was running in the kicker, it would have taken like 2 minutes.
I'm going to turn on my sound here.
Where's Rob? He's on the field. He should let us know what's going on.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Okay, that. Not sure why Justin Wilcox was so mad. That seems pretty innocuous.
It was an unforced error. 12 men on the field, right? Or was it legal substitution? Was
They
like
said
hectic?
illegal substitution.
Got it.
I guess David Shaw was happy enough with the result of the punt that he didn't want to try to redo it again, give Nico a chance to return a punt, since the penalty wouldn't have given Stanford a first down.
Totally. So it's 10-3. It's kind of interesting. You look at the stats, it looks pretty even. Like Cal has only like 30 more yards. Stanford hasn't been able to rush the football at all.
They barely tried.
Yeah, they have. How many runs do they
Let's
have?
see,
They
Stanford has done 21 total plays.
They have 10 rushes for 18
is it really that
yards.
many? I guess they've ran the ball a little bit more the last few drives.
They had those 2 sacks for, it looks like 20 yards. No,
I guess
sack adjusted.
the issue is that they can't break out
20
their
yards,
runs.
sorry.
So they've had a lot of 4 and 5 yard runs, but their longest run of the game is 5 yards. So, credit to our defense for rallying to the ball, tackling reasonably well, such that Stanford hasn't broken out for any long runs yet. Also worth noting, we haven't committed a penalty yet.
That is true.
Until that one that just got declined. So
yeah, that was interestingly. Cal has only 1 sack so far for 2 yards, which is on that last play. That was actually their first tackle for loss. So, yeah, you're right, Nick. Stanford is getting like that drip of like consistent yardage, but it's not like anything too like heavy outside of that like 1 pass play.
yeah, I think Shaw, to his credit, recognizes that he doesn't have a dynamic running back or just the sheer offensive line dominance to really run the ball consistently with a lot of success. They know that they're not going to get big plays out of their running game, and so they're going to have to try to create them with the passing game.
Live update from Memorial. There are 5 Stanford cutouts in the end zone. Hope you can report in and tell us what those cutouts are.
Stanford made them and placed them, or like members
Stanford
of the
band shenanigans?
Is it like 5 Gary Tyrells and a broken trombone? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, we need more deets. This is very, very innocuous. So Chase Garbers is having what I'm going to call right now the mini Aaron Rodgers game, which is, oh dear.
Oh, he never saw the rusher. I'm glad that he held on to that ball, because that could have easily been a fumble.
Yeah, there's some creative blitzes Stanford's throwing out in this game, but yeah, Garbers is having trouble reading the right side.
Antoine's a cornerback, right?
Yeah, cornerback blitz.
Oh, he'd even ID'd the guy that was free, but I think he saw, I don't know, he must have saw the runner just at the last second and held onto the ball. Marginal plays like that. If he'd gotten that ball out a split second earlier, that would have been a nice gain.
Yeah, Michael, we're trying to get some more updates on this cutout situation. Oh no.
What happened?
Well,
threw it behind the receiver, it looks like.
Feeling like a 3 and out here.
We're really struggling on first down for these failed drives.
Yeah. After that first drive, Cal's offense is kind of just mugged down, and
I think
this might be a pass interference situation.
Yeah.
Six 14 left. This is just a dump off. Good yardage, but Stanford will get the ball back.
We're dominating these, limiting the damage on third down plays.
It's all about limiting damage right now, right?
Well, when you're playing David Shaw, there's a certain logic to it, even if it doesn't excite me. Like Stanford this is probably going to be Stanford's last possession of the half here. We can be confident that we might get one last shot to.
Yeah, our punting is just an adventure. We worked again, but it'll be a midfield situation with 5:30 left.
Yeah.
Trying to see. I think Rob sent a tweet, which I don't think anyone can copy and paste. So let me see what I can. Oh, it's in the stands. It's not in the
Yeah.
end zone. Okay.
So 5 Stanford fans paid the memorial fee to put cutouts in our stadium. It really showed us.
Yeah, thanks for the money. We kind of need it. Yeah, so if you go to our Twitter feed, you'll see the photos of the 5 Stanford fans. So Cal
Interesting
currently,
that they decided to group them by themselves, so they realized what was up.
yeah,
And there's appears to be one Cal cutout next to the 5 Stanford fans. I don't know who that is or what it is.
Maybe it's family and one lone Cal fan.
yeah,
Almost
Renee,
looks
I
like a
think
player in uniform.
Stanford has more fans in Berkeley than they do in Palo Alto. I mean, that is usually correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say that every time I've been to Stanford Stadium, it has never felt like a road game, or even remotely close to one.
And that's when you went for Stanford, Oregon State.
I think so. I also went to a Stanford ASU game, like I think when Stanford was like really good, and it was like still 70% ASU fans in the stadium. it was like humiliatingly bad, like how little that team is supported. Go Bears from Aggies down the 80. That's Hugo from Davis. There's good old up the I-80. What would you an offensive cycle or a defensive cycle? You're gonna have to rephrase this.
What would be an offensive cycle or a defensive cycle?
Yeah, I'm not certain what that means.
The defensive
Okay.
cycle would have to be a sack, interception, and fumble recovery.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else cycle is 4 things. So what would the 4th thing be? Maybe a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Sack, forced fumble recovery, interception. That would be the defensive cycle. Maybe the offensive cycle would be throwing, catching, and running for a touchdown.
Gebbia? Yeah, 3 of those. But I guess you need a 4th.
Oh, and there's Mills on the keeper, so they're
sturdy, speedy Davis Mills.
Part of the reason these big games are always so stressful, the way that Wilcox and Shaw play them, the possessions are so limited and the teams generally play so conservatively that just one interception or one turnover can completely swing the game.
Yeah, basically.
I hope we get it.
Yeah, one mistake can really change it. That was, I don't know what that route was.
As I say that, that was maybe an interception-worthy throw from Mills. There was more risk than reward on that throw. Let's say that much.
Yeah,
because that was well covered.
Yeah, was that like an in and out route? I think he was trying to like juke him and then get the outside leverage, but it was just so slow developing.
Yeah.
So now it's 3rd down. Interestingly, Stanford is not in like a run formation, which is not the David Shaw I know.
We rush 4. We Mills panics and goes down. Yes. Oh, we
What was
spooked
that?
him. He had time, but he didn't realize it.
It's the way he imploded, but with no contact.
His brain went. "Brrr."
That was some Looney Tunes right there. He was like, ah! Yeah, he just went sideways.
He
ran
saw
ran into
Coin
his
Dang
lineman,
and he freaked out.
basically.
Brett Johnson and J.H. Tevis is the buddy comedy that we need.
Cal having the most sacks since last season is not. They're being third. Oh no!
No, fall on it. Oh,
Wow.
crap. Speaking of the one disastrous play and Stanford has the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nico, that was an awful punt, and Nico tried his best to run up to catch it to save the yardage, but he dropped the ball.
you couldn't see it. I think, or
I mean, it hit him in the chest.
Yeah, he panicked for a second.
Yeah. He started backing up first.
That hurts.
Some more special teams problems for the Bears.
Yeah, Charlie Ragel's not having a good week.
That ball was sitting. How did Stanford come up with that? Because the ball was sitting between the legs of a Cal player and
Yeah,
there's a
and
second
then
Cal player there.
There was a split second when it was in between the legs when the Stanford player got to it.
Well, oh
Oh, and we nearly got it back.
yeah, Mills.
That
threw it
deflection could have
behind.
gone anywhere.
Iosefan, good coverage though.
Well, Oregon State last week only needed 90 yards to score 21 points. Stanford in a similar position right now to really even this game, even though Cal has kind of, I wouldn't say controlled it, but has been better.
Yeah,
Play by
we've
play.
pretty clearly been the better team so far this game, but big plays like a fumbled punt return can negate that advantage.
Basically. Up the middle. Now, this is an interesting situation. Do you think Stanford would go for it in this situation if it's 4th and short?
No.
They
100%
should,
no.
but
I mean, it's only the first half. They're not going to go for it.
what Shaw should be saying to himself is Cal has been the better team and we need to maximize the opportunities that we get. But I don't know if that's how David Shaw thinks.
Well,
Usually
We'll
comments
see if
tell
it
me that
matters.
we're not going to face that dilemma.
3rd and 6. It's again, Stanford's been mostly in shotgun in this game. They've really not given up on the run, but have really minimized it.
Oh, damn it.
And
Blitzers.
the worst play in the world leads to a touchdown. Cal
Well-
again, snake bitten by the punt game. Just like they've conceded so many touchdowns this year on bad punt play.
You could argue that should be offensive pass interference. Wilson kind of got a push
Yeah.
on
Hard.
Bynum's shoulder to create that space. It's the type of limited contact that refs are rarely going to call, so I'm not surprised to see that get ignored. But it's worth noting that I think Cam felt pushed off the play. Well,
Yeah, it's a
we-
tough
we
call.
have-
Goal line faith is really tough to call that PI.
We have 3 minutes to make up for the error, take advantage of receiving the kick to start the game, and make it reflect in the scoreboard the fact that we've been the better team today.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of how college football goes. And, team in the big game that makes the least mistakes usually wins. And Cal is the biggest one so far. So 3 minutes left. And we're all even. Big game. Never can make
Yeah.
it easy, can we, Cal?
Interesting that Nico chose to fair catch that kickoff at the 3. Well, 3 minutes plus with 2 timeouts means that we should be able to run our completely normal offense.
Yeah.
Time is
Time's
not
not the
really an
issue.
issue.
The issue
Where
is
this
going to be
t-
getting a good start on first down because we can't
Sam.
survive in third and long.
Sam asking where this team ranks in all-time underwhelming Cal teams. Sam, just throw this season out. Don't think too hard about
There are at least 4 late era Tedford teams that immediately jump ahead.
Yeah.
07 immediately came to my mind.
Ugh.
Yeah. 07, 09. Well, 2010 was probably the worst. That team was really talented.
And Stanford has like 3 guys immediately penetrate into the backfield on that run.
Yeah.
We really need to get better first down plays. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot.
I'm gonna have to look at the stats again, but I'm once again gonna be worried that we have like a really successful run early in the game and it turns out to be fool's gold, and we as a consequence lean on the run game longer than we should. Granted, the passing game has been an issue too with the pressure that Stanford has gotten on Garbers. So, I'm not sure that there's a clear solution here.
But that first
Sure.
drive was filled with some pretty good runs, so it wasn't just a one-off here or there.
True.
Yeah, well, there's this pattern I think with Musgrave. We're good with our scripted stuff where we have like, at least for last week and this week, where we play well like in the first drive or two, and then once we go off script, we're definitely struggling a lot more. Gerardo asks, why have we not attacked downfield today? I think it's the consequence of having 3 backup offensive linemen, and we don't feel confident in like attacking downfield without like Garbers getting like pressured. And Stanford's got a lot of pressure with like blitz packages so far. So I think our ability to like really do some stuff has deeper downfield really is contingent on like getting better pass protection.
Yeah. And we're immediately in 3rd and long. This becomes kind of a secret big play here. Like, if we can sustain this drive, then great. But I don't really want to hand Stanford another chance to score and take the lead going into halftime, knowing that they're going to get the ball first.
Yeah. We need a Garber scramble or PI.
Either the Fox first down yard marker is way off on this play. Just a heads up to everyone.
Stanford sends the house, and Cal is just like not getting any sort of like deep play ability at this point. Gerardo asks, is this due to Stanford's D-line being better than OSU's last week? I don't really think so.
They're probably about the same.
Yeah, they're about the same. Like Stanford's defense has been torched like the first 2 weeks of the year. So I think this is just more of a consequence of like Cal just not having their first unit offense.
Although, do you think it helps that Stanford basically got a bye last week and they've had more time to rest up?
Totally. I mean, they have not had like any significant COVID outbreaks outside of the Davis Mills false positive. So they've probably been like the team with the most like constant reps. So they're probably like an ability to execute at a much higher level than Cal. And to only have basically 3 points off of non-assisted turnovers just shows like Cal is a better team. Like they're just not executing.
And the easiest thing to look at right now, we're averaging 1.3 more yards per play than Stanford, which is not an insignificant advantage.
Yeah.
But, it's not so much of an advantage that it can't be immediately erased by a play of the magnitude of that fumbled punt.
And how much of that was that just that first drive we had where the offense was really efficient and moving well?
It's true. I mean, the field goal drive was a decent drive. It just stalled out
Yep.
in the red zone.
Fair.
But you're right
Yep.
that first down has been sort of the tail of the tape. When we succeed on first down, we've driven the ball, and when we biff it on first down, we pretty much immediately punt. It's interesting that Stanford decided to use their timeout before Cal
Timeout.
punted there. It means that every play like oh, they gave Stanford a first down on that play. I thought he was short of the line to gain.
That's interesting. Clock kept on running too. Yeah, Cal staying a nickel screenplay. That's blown
Yes.
up. Nicely done by Deng.
Good
Nice.
play by Coyne. That'll cost
Great
Stanford a
team.
lot of time right there too, in addition to the lost yardage. Wait. Did we call a timeout?
Oh no! Why would we call a timeout?
Are we trying to get the ball back?
Looks like
Yes.
it.
That feels like a mistake. I don't. Even if we get the ball back, we're going to be like pinned in our own 10.
Yeah.
I would have let Stanford run that clock down. Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe it'll pay off, but yeah, that's an interesting timeout by Wilcox.
Maybe it's a substitution thing. I don't know.
Oops, sorry. Who have emerged to replace Weaver as leader in the Cal D? I think it's probably Bynum or Hicks.
Yes. Well,
I
maybe
changed my mind.
Call that
Great
second
timeout.
timeout,
And
Justin.
that's
Way
back
to
to
go.
Tevis again, showing up big today.
Cal's defense has been really superb today. We haven't really said like defense has been great, but I think given what they have and like what they're working with, this has been a really good performance. They just got screwed on that last possession.
I mean, I think this is almost the defensive line we expected to see. Just, they started off the season with the COVID quarantine, so they were
Yeah.
basically out for 2 weeks, and now they're only catching up to speed, and this is what we were all hoping to see from them.
Yeah, so now it's 3rd and 21. Cal's out of
Stanford
timeout, so
would
this
just run to kill clock here.
yeah, I'll probably try and just get the first down and get out of here if they can. Well, no, if they get the first down, they're in striking distance, but I would be shocked if it's anything but a run. And yeah, it's nailed down. Cal will get the ball back with probably 40 seconds left, which, leads to the most dangerous part of the game so far. So, yeah, Nico hoping for some redemption here. Did have a punt return for a touchdown last week that was knocked off by a block in the back. So he has flashed the talent this year. And this clock's just going to run down. Maybe they take the delay? No. 50 seconds. Oh,
And Stanford punts it
Interesting.
out of downs.
yeah, because, the one thing you want to do with bad punt coverage is punt it out of bounds. Alomar! Stanford
I guess
special
I could
teams good
see
coach.
I guess it's a risk and reward limitation from Shaw. No potential reward of Cal trouble on the punt return team, but you're taking away the chance of Cal returning it, which is maybe the biggest risk to Cal scoring on this drive here.
I don't hate the decision, given that our offense has struggled. They're probably banking on us not being able to get in a field goal range.
And it was an awful punt. They're at midfield. It's 1st and 10
Oh,
to Cal
really?
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I
They're-
got at least a 30.
Maybe he just shanked it.
I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, this is a 30. My bad.
Okay.
Good protection on first down.
What a throw.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Now it's at the 47.
That's what we want to see. Chase
Yeah.
throwing darts to guys downfield. Good catch from Polk in traffic, too. Get out of bounds.
Another nice,
Nice
quick
hitch.
first down. Yeah.
Back to Polk again, too.
That was a bad angle from Stanford's cornerback. he kind of like ran at Polk like Polk was going to run inside when Polk was, of course, going to try to get to the sidelines the whole time. Wait, why is the clock running? Polk went out of bounds.
Is there a clock? Oh, they have to reset the clock, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
28 seconds.
Okay, good.
Nick's on top of it.
So that should get them maybe a couple more shots for a field goal. What's Longetto's long? It's like 40.
52 last week.
Oh, yeah, 52. Yeah, he's got the range. So,
We would obviously want to get at least 10 more yards for the field goal.
right.
We'll see how much Stanford gives us in terms of space to just throw little dinks to the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that a prediction from Rob or a he's
Who knows?
that far ahead into the future?
nice.
Yes.
That's nice. Now Cal's in field goal range, so they can take a shot if they want.
Okay.
I would spike it on first down, and then, yeah, you can take 1 or 2 shots into the end zone.
I mean, this is again just raising the question of us Cal turtling, and then now when we need to move, we're suddenly efficient on offense.
It is interesting how that works. I mean, I don't feel like Cal was turtling in the traditional sense because it's not like they weren't having Chase drop back to pass. It's just that for some reason on this drive, we've been able to protect him and get the ball downfield in a way that we haven't previously. And why that is the case, I can only guess at.
Nineteen seconds left.
More good protection.
Taking a shot.
And that's pass
Uh,
interference. So maybe they called it uncatchable.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think Stan's blitzing a bit fewer guys too, so that's helping with the protection, and that's helping with passes downfield, even though they are dropping more back.
So we'll see what happens. Garber's 12 for 15 for only 98 yards, so it's like the most inconspicuous 80% completion rate you can think of.
Yeah. Stanford sends the house. We pick it up reasonably well, and it's flag. Holding,
Flag
I'm
down.
presuming.
Yeah, that was a PI, I think.
PI.
Crawford got held up.
Well, that'll make the field goal easier. I don't know if we dare take another snap before the field goal with only 8 seconds left on the clock.
I mean, you might probably take one more and then kick it.
You got to be real confident in whatever the play is.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Chase to
Probably
protect
throw
the
a fade.
ball.
Who's our best fade wide receiver? I don't even know who that would be.
Probably
Crawford,
Kikoa.
I guess.
Polk.
Kikoa's got the length for it, right?
You know that Kikoa is just the most athletic guy on the wide receiver group, so that's you start from there.
Who caught the pass down the sideline last year? Wasn't it Polk?
Oh, the big one to set up Nico? Yes, it was Polk.
And
Oof. All right, that's
Try.
not a bad.
time.
Yeah.
It was 85. They went to the
Tongas.
tight end fade.
And Tongas, he might have the most height. At the end of the day, I don't hate it. I mean, he put
I
the
don't
ball
either.
in a place where only Tongas could make a play for it. So
Yeah.
pretty low risk.
It was too high though. It was a
Oh
little.
god.
I'd rather he err on the side of kicking too high or throwing too high.
Yeah, 3 seconds. 3 seconds left. Wow.
God damn it, special teams. Jesus. Great.
David Shaw's
Well-
happy. David Shaw's the happiest I've seen in a while. It's tied at 10 at halftime.
David Shaw is happy when others are miserable.
I've never
Not-
been so happy that David Shaw's a robot, because him looking happy was terrifying.
So we have a massive 2.2 yards per play advantage right now, and we're tied because special teams has been an abject disaster for the second week in a row.
Yep, 10-point swing. It should be probably 13-3 right now, California. Instead, it's tied at 10. And like again, second week in a row for special teams, just kind of blowing a Cal victory. So yeah, nothing really to say. This is like really hard. I would like to give like harder, deep analysis about like play calling and all that other stuff. But if Cal just takes care of their business on kicking, then we're winning, and we're winning pretty handily.
I mean, if you want to look at the bright side, we are clearly the better team, and thus you would have to like our odds of expressing that in the second half and not screwing up. But you know, the reality of these games with Shaw, they're so low scoring, there's so few possessions that failing to take advantage when you have it means that the game is almost assuredly going to be a close game down the stretch, and one or two weird plays, unlucky plays, can swing the game against you. So, you know, now we're in position where like last week, where if Garbers has a pass deflected and it falls to a defensive lineman, that might cost us a game when we've been demonstrably the better team. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to fall on Regal. I mean, this is his unit. They should be playing better. And like I'm pretty nice like in terms of like giving coaching analysis this year, but that can't happen 2 weeks in a row. Like you should be better than this.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to defend the coaches, I guess, of all the ways I expected us to screw up on special teams, Nico dropping a punt was not high on the list. You know, that's like the one sort of trusted returner that you have. It's not like he's had a propensity for fumbling punts. I don't know what happened on the block. I guess I'd have to see a replay of that.
Yeah, I mean, Cal should still feel confident. I mean, they're tied. I mean, they're not like they're behind. The Bears are the better team. If they just execute well, they win.
Mm-hmm.
They play the same level in the first half that they played in the second half, and they don't make mistakes. I think we're taking the X back. It's not like Stanford has shown anything where they're like going to start exploding for like 20-yard, 30-yard plays.
Yeah.
Michael asks, which key? Rob, are you taking a photo of your screen? You do realize there's a screenshot function. Anyway, Michael asks, which key seniors will be graduating this year?
Tough
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I mean, I would have, for full speculation, assumed Bynum's leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bynum will probably go.
It's hard
Hicks
to see what he has to gain from coming back to Cal, other than just, you know, liking his teammates, presumably. But every Cal, like many teams across the country, will have a whole bunch of guys who will have the option of returning, and they just have to decide for themselves. If I'm graduating, do I want to come back to Cal? Do I want to grad transfer somewhere else? Am I ready for the pros? Whole bunch of individual decisions, and we're just going to have to wait for everybody to make theirs.
Although that is a good point, that we don't know how the UC Berkeley issue will affect them about coming back for grad school, because we just do see a lot of grad transfers for that reason.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week. I think once they knew that like the season was going to be a wash, like probably like last fall, like I'm sure a lot of like players who want to come back have thought about like staggering their schedules, so they'll still be like eligible for like a fifth year. Especially since like a lot of the freshmen for next year's class are not going to have the game reps be ready to play. Yep, Brene, Stanford punting yards still trumping Davis Mills.
No, see, in reality, the reason David Shaw was celebrating at the end of the half, it had nothing to do with the blocked field goal. He's just exciting that this game is being defined by punting.
Yeah, punting is winning.
Mm.
This is like the classic Shaw game. This is working perfectly for him. The punting is paying off. He's gotten good punts that have pinned Cal deep, which have forced Cal into like, you know, having to give up the football and give Stanford good field position. And they've also like had that punt fumble.
Looking at the stats right now, the difference in the game is that Cal can run the ball and Stanford can't. Although part of me wonders how much of that is sustainable long term. Like Cal and Stanford's passing attacks are virtually identical in terms of yards, attempts, average per completion. But Cal is averaging 6 yards a run and Stanford is 1.3. And a lot of that is Chase Garbers on scrambles, though.
But even if you throw out Garbers, Damian Moore is still averaging 7 yards per carry, Dancy 5.4 yards per carry.
Yeah.
I'd still take those numbers.
I hope that we can replicate that in the second half in terms of running back handoffs.
Kodiak makes a good point about the loss of offensive line starters dominoing onto special teams. It is true that with only having like our probably limited set, we're probably playing like a ton of our like second stringers or walk-ons like on special team units. So it's probably easier to get like plays like that block kick before halftime, and also to, you know, fumble up coverage on the other side when you are missing like, you know, nose tackle or linebacker depth. So I mean, it definitely is a cascading effect where you're not going to have like ideal special teams, but you also should not be like failing on every possession, which is basically like at this point, if you're going to struggle that much, then Nico shouldn't be fielding punts. You should just be like, let it go, let it do whatever it wants. Yeah, I think it's really a struggle there. Yeah, so yeah, again, like Rob points out that like a bunch of offensive linemen who are starting are also playing on special teams. That's additional reps. That is also not like part of the skill set that they were probably being coached for at the start of the year. So now some of those starters were also like on the special teams unit because they're all backups. But on the flip side, now that they're starters, they're now having to handle like an additional load that they weren't expecting to handle.
I mean, Regal was involved in Rich Rod's scandal, so he might have dirt on everyone. We don't even know what he's up to.
Yeah, Regal has been good in terms of like recruiting, in terms of like getting good Arizona recruits like Brett Johnson, obviously, Braden Rome, a bunch of other guys, Christiakos. So he's definitely been like our top recruiter for most of the start of the Wilcox era. I think now that we have Toller on offense and we have guys like Browning and Yates on defense, he might not be as essential just in terms of like future development. And the Cal special teams was not good last year. It was in 2019, I think they were like 11th in the nation, or not 11th in the Pac-12. They were like bad. 118th, I think, in S&P plus. So this is not like a new thing that the special teams is underachieved. And yeah, I would just be concerned. Like if this performance continues, like how can we expect Regal to, you know, improve it over time? Drew points out our recruiting classes aren't that great. I would say that they haven't been bad, but I would say the Regal's pretty good in terms of getting like that one or that like impact player like Johnson, and like one or two Arizona recruits every now and then. I would also say that he's not like at the level of Deshaun Foster at UCLA or I forget who Oregon's coach is.
Oregon.
Yeah, Dante Williams at Oregon. Like anyone at Oregon. Yeah, he's not essential at this point. I would really focus more on just having like position coaches really coordinate your recruiting. So thoughts from Michael. Diaz got to lock it down. Mills has way too much time and has been able to get into rhythm for short stretches.
Let's see. We have 3 sacks, and that's, 3 sacks on how many dropbacks? 20 dropbacks. So, you know, that's a sack percentage, about 15% of his dropbacks. That's pretty good. Mills started to look a little more panicky towards the end of the half. I'm hoping that we're starting to get into his head a little bit. And the fact that we're doing that without sending a ton of blitzes or anything all that fancy at him is encouraging. But I'd agree that when Mills is able to set his feet and throw, he's been pretty successful. And so that's a concern. If Stanford is going to win this game, it's probably going to be on the strength of Mills throwing the ball downfield. I don't think their run game is really going to do a whole lot.
Stanford currently averaging 1.3 yards per rush. And even if you take away the sacks, it's only, I think, a 2.1 or so. So
let's see, looking at the running back carries. Well, that's receiving, sorry. Yeah, Jones, their starting running back, is just barely averaging 2 yards an attempt. Pete is about the same. Yeah, they're Stanford's running backs have 9 carries for 23 yards. That's like two and a half a carry. That's pretty bad.
Rob points out in terms of the Regal stuff, we have plucked a couple of our quarterbacks like Kai Milner and Spencer Brash from Arizona, so that's been pretty crucial. I'm hoping now that Musgrave is here, we'll have someone who's a little bit more active recruiting wise in terms of getting like major quarterbacks who are more fit for the system. Jacob asked a question that I'm sure Nick is going to have some thoughts on. We were so aggressive on the first and last drive, then so passive on the others. Why can't we just stay aggressive?
Well,
For the
I
last
guess,
drive, Stanford was definitely blitzing fewer guys, so they were dropping more in coverage. Chase had more time to sit back, stay protected, and make his throws.
So I want to go back to the play-by-play of that first drive. I'm going to try to bring it up on a game tracker, quarter one. So Cal's very first drive of the game, 1, 2, 3, 4 runs, and 1, 2, 3, 4 passes. So the passes weren't particularly aggressive downfield passes. The longest was a 10-yard pass play, but that was a swing pass to Moore. I think good offense looks aggressive because the plays are working. I think a lot of it is that on that first drive, Cal ran the ball successfully, and on future drives, Cal didn't run the ball successfully. And I do think that the coaches tend to run the ball more often than they should based on the likelihood of success. Sometimes runs will work, but I think because the offensive line is so patchwork, it only takes one mistake from an offensive lineman to blow up a play. All 5 guys kind of have to do their job to run it successfully. Whereas on a pass, maybe a running back can help pick up a blitzer that an offensive lineman missed, or maybe Chase makes a cut and gets a 15-yard scramble when the line blew up the play. I think there's more margin for error on passing plays when Chase has the ball in his hands. That's why I'd prefer we do that more rather than running. Because later on in the game, we run on first down, it gets stuffed, and the drive's over. It's no more or less aggressive than the first drive of the game. It's just the running play worked it versus it not working. Rob is reminding me that I need to get whatever my halftime snack is. I can't eat when the game is happening. I can sometimes eat at halftime.
We're officially a mukbang site with Rob eating some Lay's potato chips.
No sponsorship money, though.
But if you would like to sponsor us, Lay's, we will happily take your chips.
Do I struggle watching the game via antenna DV where it's pixelated as hell, or stream it online with a 45-second delay?
Be on delay with the rest of us.
Yeah, be on delay, man. If you're gonna be on the streams, you got to focus on that. We're a group. Also, we're trying to avoid spoilers. Although it's very fun to see knowing what's gonna happen. It kind of takes away all the anxiety.
Although it also adds anxiety. When we were setting up that kick at the end of the second half, and I saw the comments say, no, 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 damn. That was not fun.
Michael says, amazed with a decimated O-line. We're still moving the ball well enough. I think one thing to caveat is we're playing probably the two worst defenses in the Pac-12 these last 2 weeks in OSU and Stanford. We definitely need Craig, Curhan, and Deltosa back for Oregon. There's just no way we're going to beat, even as bad as like Oregon has played. I know that their talent is much higher.
But I mean, I would still say I'm happy with how the O-line's been performing, considering the fact that it's all backups at this point, basically.
Yeah, Cal is at 87 yards per rush, 87 yards rushing, 5.8 yards per rush, 103 yards rushing without sacks. So really the bigger issue has been their pass protection, where they've struggled to like handle the blitzing.
Yeah.
So as long as Cal can if Cal can come out with like a good second half drive, I know Stanford gets the ball to start, but if they can come out with a good second half drive and retake the lead, I feel like the team is in a good position to just keep on being methodical with it.
Here's where you get into like looking at the stats versus breaking down the stats, because like as an example, so Marcel Dancy has 5 runs for 27 yards. That's a solid 5.4 yard average, except one of those was the first run play of the game, and since then he has 4 rushes for 4 yards, and those 4 stuffed rushes all meaningfully contributed to failed drives. And that's where I talk about, like, I think we get a little bit more consistency out of the passing game than the running game, where we sometimes break a big play, but also get a lot of stuffs that lead to 3rd and longs that we have trouble with.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're seeing is just Cal's not going to be an explosive passing team. I think at the moment Cal has, I'm looking at this right, Cal has 0 pass plays. Sorry, they have 1 pass play of 15 or more yards. They had it on the 17-yard completion to Poke on the last drive.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the explosive plays have been 15 yards or less on passing, and they've had 3 rushes for 10 yards or more. Oh, sorry, 5 rushes for 10 yards or more. 3 of them Chase Garbers.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had a running back carry of more than 10 yards since the first drive of the game.
Yeah. Just like last year, Chase Garbers is leading the team in passing and rushing, 98 yards. On 12 of 15. He has 6 rushes for 32 yards. Moore has 4 rushes for 28. Dancy 5 rushes for 27. Cal Rivals reporting Chris Brown is not on the sideline, so I don't imagine we'll see him today.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he got no first down snap or first half snaps tells you enough as it is. Halftime is always too long. Sometimes with these big games, I just want to get the torture over with.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them off. We have a few minutes before the 3rd quarter starts. And then we're probably just going to eat our feelings for the next 2 hours.
Or those Lay's potato chips, if Lay's ever decides to sponsor us.
Classic. What happened to Chris Brown? Undisclosed injury, medical condition. It's probably an injury. There's been no sign.
We can speculate about upper body or lower body.
I mean, so he was injured last week, apparently during warm-ups, and there was a last-minute decision to pull him from the game, so it's probably just still from that.
I always wonder with those last-minute decisions if they're actually last-minute.
Yeah.
There's like, yeah. For the sake of transparency, we can't put him on the injury report. He might play, but we don't know.
Yeah. All right, Rob's bailing, I think.
Yeah, Stanford.
That means it's time to start the second half.
Yep.
3rd quarter's here.
It really is fascinating how evenly these two teams play each other since the Wilcox-Shaw era has begun. Right now, Stanford has run one more play than Cal. Both teams have run the ball 15 times. Stanford has passed 17 times to Cal's 16. Stanford's averaging 8 yards per pass completion. We're averaging 8.2.
Yeah, I think you make fun of David Shaw a lot, but Justin Wilcox isn't much different than David Shaw in terms of the type of game manager he is.
But this is also slightly uncharacteristic of Shaw. He's passing a little bit more than we expected.
I think it's Pritchard. I think Pritchard has been like, Davis Mills is our best player. Our running backs are definitely not as good as last year.
Yeah.
So go with what's good. And they probably could have won the Colorado game if they had not stuck to the run for like 2 quarters. All right, third quarter underway. Stanford will start. This is a big drive for Cal. I don't feel really good about Cal. Like, I mean, Cal is like good comeback ability, but I don't like their psyche if they have to come back after
You don't
pretty
want to
much
have to
outplaying
do
Stanford.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of psyche, I'm okay with Cal coming back. It's more the offense I don't trust this season coming back.
Draw play.
A Stanford run that gets 5 yards. I feel like there have been 9 of those.
Yeah, I feel like every Stanford play has been like by default like 4 to 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of made this game really boring to analyze. It's kind of like, oh yeah, one guy gets a block, another guy sheds the tackle. It's like always mid-level. Like someone on offense is doing something right, someone on defense is doing something right.
No running backs for Stanford or wide receivers for Stanford on the next play.
There's our Shaw.
A short run
curious.
sets up third down.
That's curious because Stanford's tight ends are not that good this year. So if you have like that type of formation that just telegraphs run.
Yeah. But I mean, if you telegraph run and you still pick up 3 yards, then why not just keep doing it?
Yeah, of course, it sets Stanford up to have to punt if they can't complete this pass for whatever reason. I'm assuming pass. I guess I shouldn't assume. Oh, that could have been picked, but still, I will take a 3 and out on the first drive of the game or the second half.
Was that Dang?
Yeah, it was Dang. Dang is actually on pace for 20 tackles right now. He had 9 tackles in the first half.
Dang's been playing well today.
Yeah, it's nice to see him step up after I think 2 games where I wouldn't say he was bad, but he was carrying the I need to be Evan Weaver of the new Cal defense type of expectations. Today he's delivered on that more so than the last 2 games.
So that couldn't have gone any better for Cal to start.
Why did Nico Fair catch that punt?
Wisdom.
I mean, you got to shake off the fumble and make plays to help your team. He had space to at least just fall forward 5 yards there.
Maybe if you're up 10. I guess at this point, I'm sure the coaching in the second half was like, don't screw up in special teams. Yeah, I think the interesting thing I've seen is Stanford's done like a lot of shotgun in third and short, and they haven't really run out of it. So they've kind of that's kind of the difference between like previous Stanford teams. It's like usually that's like I formation, run the football or play action. But now that the run game has kind of been negated or minimized, they've kind of been like in that sort of like multiple formation set that we all tend to not like to hear from an offense. Gerardo pointing out, Deng is really close to the ball. I think one of the cool things is like he can kind of move from side to side in this game a lot more because the run game is less limited. But because Stanford has less explosive players, he can kind of play that Weaver role of like plugging up gaps that he couldn't do in the last couple of weeks.
You'd really like to see Cal, now that they've, swung the advantage for Stanford getting the kick immediately, to just exert their superiority with a dominant drive here, make up for all those mistakes that cost them the lead that they should have had in the first half.
Yeah, I feel if Cal gets the lead, I think they're in good shape. Like if they just get it like right now, because I mean Stanford outside of that like the punt fumble has not done anything to generate touchdown offense.
Mm-hmm.
The Jared Goff one is just brutal.
Stupid Fox reminding us of that Jared Goff had no defense around him.
Yeah.
It's good to see Alex Mack in the stands, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers,
Sweet stash.
Berkeley legend E40.
Boy, the soccer jerseys that Cal had for Alex Morgan to wear when she was here in Berkeley were lame.
Yeah, Stanford had really nice kits. It's kind of really unfortunate that we had to get like the substandard, whatever was in the back of Nike's locker. Dancy made something out of nothing.
Yeah, that was falling forward. That's a good power to have. Something that Shane Vereen and Justin Forsett had back in the day.
Basically.
Ooh, good blitz pickup. That was a huge play from, I assume it was, who was the running back in on that play?
Dancy
Saved Chase.
For sure.
Yeah, Dancy saved Chase.
That was a great block.
Garbers actually probably slid a little bit earlier than he should have. He had more open space than I thought. He was going to get hit. So maybe he was a little tentative, but he had a first down if he...
Huge swing from a 5-yard gain when it could have been a 3-4 yard loss if Dancy hadn't been able to step in there.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Interesting formation. 2 tight ends to the left.
Are we going to pitch to the left? No, we're going to run option.
It's an option.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh,
Chase,
no.
What, did he fumble? Oh, Jesus. I celebrated too early.
We all did.
Stanford ball.
God! That was so beautifully run by Chase, too. He held that ball until the last second. He maximized the space for his running back. Dancy fumbles.
This is Cal's first running back fumble in 2 years. Oh, man. Dancy, what were you doing? Oh, wow. That was a nice hit, actually. That was a nice punch out. Well.
-2 in the turnover category.
Yep. It's been that type of year for Cal. Just losing all the 50-50 plays. Kind of an unfortunate confluence of events so far.
And they're both on the wrong side of the field to give Stanford a short field.
And they capitalize immediately. Nice play fake.
We had decent coverage downfield, but it looks like the defender didn't have his head turn around, and the ball kind of slipped through.
Yeah, that was a design play, I think. I was just lost the coverage there.
I think Woodson was kind of recovering late, too. Oh, my God.
Well, this is going to be a crucial set for Cal. They kind of really need to stop here. Just hopefully stop for 3. But Stanford's now getting the push they need up front. So now Cardinal
We who
should
are
take the
about to
lead.
die.
They have a lot of options here. Probably could get some tight end stuff if they wanted to. Especially with the push they're getting now up front. And
It's a
touchdown.
touchdown.
Cardinal take the lead in the big game again for the God knows how many years in a row. I think they've had the lead every year since 2007. So, well, Cal's gonna have to play comeback. (17-10) Stanford. And really, Bears really have no one to blame but themselves at this point. So, yeah, I really don't have a ton of analysis.
Don't drop the ball. That's our analysis.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that was a nice play, the speed option. I guess the only thing I can think of is, Dancy tried to get more yards than he should have, and he also was backing up from contact, which made it easier for them to punch it out. But I mean, it's hard to blame him for a really good defensive play. But yeah, Stanford has only had to drive. If I'm counting this correctly. They're 2 touchdown drives. Yeah. Stanford's 2 scoring drives, if I'm getting this right, are 41 yards and 28 yards. So they've had to drive 69 yards. Cal's 1 touchdown drive was 75 yards. So Cal,
we've had to work harder for our 1 touchdown than Stanford had to work for their 2. How descriptive of both universities.
Yep. Oh, that's well done.
Well, I'll be curious to see what the offense comes up with in a drive when they pretty clearly have to score.
I mean, they've come out with some cool wrinkles when needed, so hopefully they'll have some good tricks.
And the one way to think about this game right now is that we probably will have 4 more possessions. I think counting on more than that is risky. So don't waste possessions.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the win probability is still maybe a little bit tilted to Stanford, but if Cal can just score here, which is been a very hard task for the last couple of quarters, this quickly flips the other way. Another touchback. Stanford, Cal not taking any chances on special teams anymore.
All right. Time to unleash Garbers.
Yeah, this is basically, I would rather just run the kind of offensive sets you ran at the end of the quarter. And the nice thing is, now that Cal is behind, they're not going to turtle. They're gonna try and move this ball.
Actually, yeah.
Good protection on first down. Easy 9 yards.
Yeah, Stanford's playing soft coverage. There's going to be opportunities in the flats. So 10:45 left. Bears, no touchdown since their first drive. They have a 2 tight end set, 2 wide receivers, 1 single back. 7 at the line. Nice little toss play up the middle. Look at that.
Go. You are
Damian
faster than that
Moore.
safety. Come on. Oh, he's
Oh.
not faster than the safety.
Fresh,
Still, huge play.
freshman legs, but what a play by Moore.
I like the pitch play. The pitch play has been working.
You've opened up the
So-
holes for that.
Yeah, good blocking again. So
No, Sefel. I think that was Sefel pulling.
yeah, Safel's been pulling and doing a lot of the pulling in this game. 34, is that Shaw?
No, that's Brown. Shaw's
Wait,
9.
Oh,
They
Chris
threw
Brown.
into the game? That's so weird.
Well, now that the Cal's behind, I think Brown was available. They're putting everyone in now. 9:50 left. Hurry up offense. Garbers, he's got yards. He's just got yards.
Do you think maybe they benched Dancy because of the fumble?
Probably.
Because I get why you'd give Moore a break after having to run 60 yards or whatever, but
I think with Dancy, he doesn't have that explosive ability, but also he's also more limited from the pass catching side. So with Brown, you can be a little more flexible with your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
really think they didn't
considering-
want to use Brown unless they had to. So it's 3rd down.
on the other hand, you're 0-2. The only game that matters. Ooh.
Oh no! Was that the process of the catch?
I mean, if we gain 3 yards, then it's an easy decision to go for it on 4th down. What was the ref call?
Okay, 1,
I would
2.
say that might be a
that-
football move. I don't.
I don't know what that is.
Are we going to get a long?
5-minute replay.
Yeah.
Comment suggests we're not going to get a long replay.
4th down. We went fast, and that is a
Yes!
beautiful play.
Yes.
Nico.
Nico.
Quick decision making from the coaching staff to go for it and run it quick to not even risk the chance of that getting overturned. I love it.
That was nice block by Brown too. Yeah, Remedios was just freed up. He had all the options in the world.
All right.
All right.
Important recovery. First big play of the game. Well, big offensive explosive play, I should say.
All the Cal explosive plays have been still on the ground.
Yeah.
Bears now have, I think, hit 150 yards rushing. 174 yards rushing now, averaging 8.7 yards per rush.
Michael, those lays are courtesy, presumably, of the Cal Athletic Department.
Yeah.
How many Rob can take before he gets yelled at by some sort of assistant athletic director? I don't know.
So yeah, just taking a look at Stanford's drives versus Cal's drives. Cal now has 4 drives of 50 yards or more. Stanford still does not have a drive of 50 yards.
It's just that
So-
short field and turnovers. That's a difference maker.
Basically, yes. If Cal can win the field position battle the rest of the game, then they're in good shape.
I mean, you just look at the turnover margin and the score. We're -2 and we're in a tie game. That just shows you how much better we've been.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the second quarter, we had 101 total yards. Stanford had 28. So,
And we lost that quarter.
yeah.
Yeah, Brown coming back is pretty huge. I didn't know he was going to be available, so I think we wouldn't say that changes anything too much offensively, but at least it's good to know that he's able to play and Seems fine. I like where you're going, Sydney. I like this idea. This is like the
Long
2008,
con.
yeah, the 2008 big game where Cal and Stanford were like dinking and dunking, and then they put up like 28 points in like 5 minutes.
And the platonic ideal of a Wilcox win was probably last year's big game, where we just sort of twiddled our thumbs for a while and then realized, hey, we need to score twice in the last 2 possessions to win. Let's do it.
Character building.
Only enough offense as to win the game. Anything more than that is gauche.
Doesn't build character. That Illinois game, just throw it out. Can't have it. So yeah, looking at this, they're showing the replay of this. Yeah, nice block by Safley. It wasn't a pull actually. He just like
He was just
Yeah,
coming
he just
from the side.
bulldozed his way through.
it was like a blitzkrieg from the right side. He just like came from the outer edge and sealed off the gap. But Damian Moore showing off.
Yeah.
It's nice to have like a explosive running back or one who has the capability to be explosive.
The main thing I've seen from him is vision. Like I don't recall seeing him make a questionable cut at any point.
Right. And then touchback again.
We also appear
Yeah.
to have the luxury of 2 kickers on our roster who can kick the ball into the end zone.
Seriously. I was about to say I thought we used Chris Yakos because he was the only one with distance, but Longheado's been nailing him too.
Yeah, I wonder if our punt game is so bad that Cal just might have to be aggressive the rest of the year. They're just like, we can't turtle anymore. We have to just keep on passing and running as much as possible. 40
I don't
points
think
is
any
not
of us
enough.
would hate that.
I'm down.
All right, defense. Time to get
Nine.
it back in the hands of Chase.
Jones. I feel like I've said Jones
Blocking.
5-yard rush every play for him.
Yeah.
It's either 5 yards or no yards. Cal
Swing
staying in the
pass.
nickel. Oh, and it's just Mills.
Dropping the swing passes. Love it.
Is there pressure? No, not really. I don't even know. That was just unforced. Davis just like was backing up on his throw.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
it
was
wasn't a-
pressure from Drayden helped, but it wasn't critical.
Yeah, it wasn't
a
like
good throw from Mills, but the running back also should have caught that without too much trouble.
I guess he was worried Drayden might pick it, but he wasn't really in position. Pretty crucial third down here. Nice stick.
Nickel.
Drayden
We are-
again.
What is that? Oh yeah.
We're not respecting them down the field very much anymore, and I think it's paying dividends. Our secondary have been more on top of their pass catchers on those intermediate routes compared to like the first quarter or so.
hmm
Yeah, other than that one play that's at the last Stanford touchdown, like Mills has not been able to really like test our safeties. So quick 3 and out, and Cal now. Hopefully, he can start flipping this game around. And Nico again, fair catch, and I think he's just going to fair catch the rest of the game.
And that one at least made sense. There was a guy running right at him, so I'm not going to
Totally.
blame him for that one.
I mean, if the strategy is only fair catch because of that fumble, that's a little strange. Because it's not like he fumbled while trying to return. It's because he backed up and then ran forward. It seemed to be more of an issue just the catch, not the return.
Well, and honestly, we're at the point in Remigio's career where he's been punt returner for so long that, you know, you'd kind of expect him to have one fumble by now.
Yeah. And you could forgive, I would imagine, but
I'm trying to remember, did we run any of those halfback pitches either of the first 2 games? I don't recall. If we did, it was only 1 or 2.
it doesn't really stand out.
Meanwhile, we've run like 4 today plus an option, and all those plays have been pretty successful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the coaching staff saw something about weaknesses for Stanford on the outside, either their outside linebackers or their cornerbacks' ability to play in the run. I'm encouraged.
Yeah. And I mean, in general, as a testament to the run game, it's doing so well. We have, I think, like 7 big runs compared to 0 for Stanford.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't know if we've had a particularly successful inside run, like between the tackles, but anything outside has been money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanford is down to, let's see, I'm just looking at the stats right now. Only 40 rushing yards. And yeah, they're averaging 2 yards per rush right now.
Yeah.
And I believe their longest rush is still 5 yards, maybe 6 if they gave him 6 on that first down run. I'm not sure how the official scorer categorized that 5.5-yard run.
Stanford's longest rush is Davis Mills, 7 yards.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Whereas Cal, in terms of big runs, we have 151 yards gained on just 7 runs.
We have more running yards from our Bears on one run than I think Stanford has collectively.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Love it. Be right back. I'm going to go feed my whiny cat.
So there's a question in the chat if we know if Garbers will still be here next year. He still has eligibility. I don't see any reason why he would leave to go pro or anything. I don't think he'd be a high draft pick yet. So I would assume he'll be back next year.
Yeah, no indication that Garber's like high on any draft boards. So I imagine he'll be back for his senior year. Cal starting an I formation. Again, 2 tight ends. Nice blocking again. Moore again getting some nice gaps to run through.
2 or 3 yards after contact, which is good to see.
That's what I was about to say. That was a big key. He got hit after 2 yards, but still kept going.
So 2nd and 5. I like you got to gain an extra yard there, but okay. So this is what I call the semi-turtle, where we have a clear run set, and yeah.
I mean, I would argue
getting runs though.
I would argue this doesn't count as turtling if running is just successful. Like this is just doing what works.
Maybe what would be nice to have is a game where, like we've had games where we run the ball in the first quarter and then the 2, 3, 4 we keep running, but it never works. Maybe in this game we'll look back on the second quarter as the anomaly. Like why didn't the runs work in the second quarter, but they worked for the rest of the game?
Yeah.
81 is in the game. Mo Ardo, who don't even know, is on the roster.
Is that another tight end?
I guess so. And stuffed.
Damn.
I feel like Schlegel missed that block. I think Schlegel should have got that guy.
Yeah, I don't. Schlegel missed the block. That was just a whiff.
Yeah, you're right.
He just ran up the field. Did not block anyone. And
granted, Stanford may have had enough guys at the point of attack that it might not have mattered, but
also true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, this is again like you said, Nick, last weekend against Oregon State, where we just committed too heavily one way or the other.
And I mean, I'm not going to kill him for running on 3rd and 1, but maybe just run a QB sneak.
Yeah. I would have liked to see some play action out of that set when Stanford was blocking. Clearly going to commit to it. I know we're getting like yardage out of it, but just running the same thing over and over. I don't think Cal's at that offensive consistency level yet to really warrant the pounding. Well, the zones are open for Stanford on their side.
They actually didn't run on first down.
Yeah, it's been a
Here's the
while.
Yeah, Gerardo was asking about the play action. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of play action in this game. Kind of surprised, especially now that we're
Yeah.
being able to run effectively.
Yeah,
I
you'd
will have
really
to-
think it's set up for that.
Yeah, so it's just really needed to like get that kind of like push and pass. Play action this time, deep downfield.
Yes. Yes.
And guess who
Oh.
it is? Second straight year, Daniel Scott. A nice pick off a deep throw off Davis Mills.
He had that diagnosed.
Yeah.
It's too bad he fell because I think he would have had room for a return if he had managed to keep his feet.
I think it was just such a massive underthrow. Like,
Yeah, the way he had to sprint towards that.
yeah, like, yeah, that ball was not going to get to Fehoko.
I think that Mills must have thrown it for the split second that
Yeah.
Scott had his shoulders turned the other direction.
Oh, no.
Wait. Oh, did they call a hold?
Wow.
Damn. I actually did see that hold on one of the replays, but it looked minor
What?
enough that maybe they didn't call it.
Oh my god.
That is a hold on Hicks. That's a clear hold. So first down, California, Stanford.
Uh,
It's feeling like one of those games, isn't it?
Stanford going to start running the all PI offense?
I mean, it's
They've
working,
given
and
up on
then
running the ball.
yeah, Hicks has had a tough year at safety. He's really, it's definitely been a much tougher role for him than playing corner. Yeah, just a whiff there by Osefa. Soft spots are open for Stanford right now in the middle of the field. So, and after that deep shot, I don't know if Mills is going to throw deep again. So, I mean, those flats will be open.
Yeah, I hope we stay pressed up against their wide receivers.
4:50 left.
Oh, it's
This
a throwback.
is an interesting play. Throwback. Nice,
Shades of
nice
the
chase
Jesus
down by
Bowl.
Brett Johnson.
Yeah, that's important. If he had been able to get a full head of steam, it would have at least been a first down, maybe longer.
Yeah. 17 all. Yeah, good blocking. Yeah, that's all Brett. Like Brett ends that play.
It would have been 100% on Bynum to make the tackle, and Cam might have been able to make that tackle, but
It's a good read.
2nd and 4. Oh, nice bounce out. Hicks makes the tackle in the open field.
we need some David Shaw red zone failures right about now.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is, it's a 3-down offense for Stanford now that it's a tie game. So, and there won't be like any 4th down situations. I think Shaw would go for it. And if you hold them to a field goal, then, I mean, that's still a win.
Delayed blitz does not get home.
Nice.
Stanford gets a pretty easy 6 yards.
Yeah, nice tackle by Trade. And yeah, Cal's been playing a lot of like this coverage zone where they have like the outside receivers like bracketed, but they keep the inside receivers like open in the flats. So yeah, those routes have been there, and it looks like they're finally trying to do what they can with them. Another nice tackle by Drayden.
And set up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the simple point is just 14 points off turnovers. Like, Cal's defense has played pretty well for the most part. But you just can't give up short fields.
They've been in tough positions. We put
Yeah.
them in tough position.
2:42 left in the 3rd quarter.
Is this another Wildcat? Yep.
Yeah, Wildcat situation.
Oh, they had the opportunity to make the tackle in the backfield. and couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brutal. Nice falling
it was-
forward. Yeah. Tiptoe tackle. And now you're kind of in the position you want to be if you're Stanford, first and goal. And
I like that they're starting from the 8 rather than maybe the 3 or the 4.
it's true. And
But-
wow,
But it doesn't matter
that
because
was
they
easy.
bowled us over.
Yeah, Stanford's offensive line starting to like really take.
Looks like
assert
the
their-
Stanford line of old.
Yeah, and that's the issue with like having like a couple of defensive linemen out, a couple of linebackers out. Like, if the offense isn't going to be consistent, then over the period of the game, the better units are just going to start asserting their ability.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
now
sure if
Stan-
we've seen the D-lines do any substitutions. They're probably tired out there.
Yeah, so. Oops, I haven't changed that in a while. It's 24-17, and now it's once like Stanford should feel good, but they're in pretty good shape now. Yeah, Michael, I think the one thing I worried about is if Cal didn't assert their dominance early, that Stanford could start running the football a lot more, and that and our defense is just not as good as last year, so they could definitely like start wearing Cal's defense down over time. So that's why it was really crucial for Cal to get up and ahead early, because they just don't have like the bodies right now to really play like a power game.
It's the first time all game that Stanford has driven the length of the field on our defense.
Yeah. I mean, I expected there would be more of that at this point. So it's kind of just like a credit to the Cal defense that they were able to prevent that. But now it's crunch time. So Nico
Goes for the return.
probably should have just touched back to.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter too much.
That
Well-
holding penalty that took away the interception is another one of those quiet little swing plays.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
don't-
quiet one too.
I don't blame the refs for calling that, but it's also, incidental enough that it wouldn't shock me if they hadn't called it.
Yeah, it's unforced. I think the story of Cal season is just unforced errors. Like, and I don't know how much you attribute it to like these weird practice like situations, or having guys get quarantined at the last minute, but we're just seeing a lot of like plays where Cal's just doing things that they usually don't do. And at least the Wilcox team hasn't done. And Garbage just misses Crawford. 3rd and 7.
We did use play action there, and I guess it worked. I mean, we had
Yeah.
Kakoa open for an easy first down.
I will say having 17 points against the Stanford defense at this point of the game is really disappointing. even adjusting for pace.
And obviously we should have at least 20. Oh,
And Garbers
Jesus.
gets leveled,
Under pressure,
and it's
and,
another
yeah.
3 and out. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking particularly good right now. Moore just whiffed.
Yeah, that's the danger of having a freshman in on a pass blocking situation, is he just completely misread
Yeah.
who Stanford was sending and from where.
Yeah, Michael, they did flood the left side. There was definitely like an overload blitz. And Yeah, Cal's pass protection has not been good this year. Ooh, that punt was. Yeah, okay. Yeah, their pass protection has definitely been spotty, especially in the UCLA game. But it's also important to note that they haven't played with their left tackle in their last 2 games. So this is just like taking advantage of matchups with Del Toso and Craig out. You can kind of overload like one side and probably get the matchups you want. Well, should prepare for some Shaw turtling. Unfortunately, Stanford is the only team that can turtle and be good at it. So
Yeah.
let's be ready.
We are, for those of you who like parallelisms, we are much in the same position that Cal was in last year against Stanford. Losing by 7, entering the fourth quarter. And if Cal wants to win this game, they're going to have to play virtually perfect. They're going to have to get a stop and a touchdown and a stop and a touchdown, probably. And they did that last year.
End of the third.
Can they do it again? It's a shame. Like last year, at least, we made some mistakes, but it wasn't so clear that Cal was the better team in the process.
I mean, the most annoying thing about this game is, I mean, outside of like the last drive of the third quarter, Cal has been the better team. But turnovers are the great equalizer. So 24-17. Let's see. Gerardo asks, is the fourth quarter ours?
Gotta be.
So Cal, if I'm looking at their drive breakdown, touchdown, 3 and out, field goal, 3 and out, fumble on the Remigio punt, 3 and out, the drive before half, field goal blocked, fumble, touchdown, 3 and out, 3 and out.
The last 2 drives have been discouraging.
Yeah, I would say the biggest. Yeah, I mean, we're just like not even starting drives. Like, I'm curious as to why Cal is like so conservative when they either get close or like take a lead. In terms of like, try to get a first down in your first play. Don't just run the football on first down.
I mean, I guess I get in this game more than others why they're running the ball. But at the same time, Chase has been pretty accurate until he airmailed that throw to Kakoa.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been a few bad breaks here and there, like that bad throw, the turnovers. I think Cal's still in it, and there's still a good chance for Cal.
I mean, this is really frustrating when you're out rushing. Basically, the tables have turned where Cal is now like the rushing team, and Stanford is like slicing it all over the field. Like Cal is outgaining Stanford by 40. They're outgaining them on the rush by 100 yards. On third down, they're 2 for 10. So that's kind of like a big flopper the other way. But only 1 penalty. Like this has been a relatively well executed game for the most part. And at 6 yards per play, to have 17 points is just very confusing.
There's also the penalty Stanford declined on the punt.
That's true.
But I mean, I still don't even think it's that Stanford's slicing us up and passing well. It's all just our own mistakes.
Right now, ESPN has Stanford as 86% chance to win this game.
That's
Which
usually
is
standard when you're leading in the fourth quarter.
with the ball.
Yeah, with the ball too.
I
Nice
don't know how much
defensive
if
play.
they even factor in pace of play here, but
Yeah, it's nice. That play was broken up by Zionde, and was it Deng again?
I didn't
forced
see.
another third down.
No, Drayden.
Okay.
Yeah, Brett Johnson with 7 tackles in this game. Deng with 11. 8 solos for Deng.
Those are good. After the past couple of weeks when the secondary was leading in tackles, it's good for it to be Brett and Coin.
Yeah, Hicks
Yeah.
has 6. Drayden has 6. Woodson has 4.
Huge
Crucial third down here. They play a little tighter, but just a little too soft. And Chigoze does give
Rush
Weddington.
didn't get there.
Yeah. That's a hard play to like rush though, because it's like 3-step drop. But now you'd imagine Stanford's gonna try and like take at least 2 minutes off the clock.
Well, and even a field goal here would be really damaging to our chances. Like, we kind of need to stop them on this 3-down series here, or count on Jet Toner from Oregon showing up.
Nice run up the middle. Whoa.
Yeah.
Austin Jones is feeling himself. And wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Stanford is just asserting their will now on the line. I think particularly defensive line, I think has been okay, but the linebackers are just getting railroaded backwards, or whoever's at the second level.
And we're going to have to divide this game into the first, 40 minutes of the game when Stanford didn't score anything without field position help, to the last 2 drives when Stanford has been more or less able to do whatever they want so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think and this more missed tackles as sets up a second and short. I think the biggest issue is like Cal has had if I'm looking correctly at the second half breakdown, Cal has had run only 12 plays. Stanford is at 20 now. And, in the last 2 drives, I think, I'm looking, they've run, I think, 15 plays, 6-6. So it's like been 2 quick 3-and-outs, the quick touchdown drive. So
We need
Stanford
to turn over badly.
Yeah, we need to kind of like get some lucky plays at this point. Nice stop there to shut up 3rd and short.
Another huge tight end set.
Yeah, another huge, and just another.
Ooh, can we get a cold hold there? No, of course we can't. You can feel this game slipping away with every play.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you can see just like, oh man, look, Deng getting just like drilled like to the line. This is where we miss like Weaver. Like, oh, holding.
Did they call the hold? Because
Zionde
came through. Okay,
Yeah.
that changes things. We have hope again.
Good call, Nick.
It's just funny how like Stanford's offense goes from like impossible to stop on 3rd and short to like need a Hail Mary on 3rd and 11. But
they better
this
not
would be
convert this.
this would be devastating to give up this 3rd down.
Yeah, they're even in borderline field goal range now. And it would be a 51-yarder if they don't gain anything from this spot.
I
Yeah.
don't know what Toner's long is.
Get him. No, no, no.
Oh no, that's a mistake. And oh, nice breakup by Drayden. Well done.
Oh, sign of the cross. My God.
You guys are
Not even
split second
Catholic,
ahead
but
of me, and your
Jesus.
reactions were driving me crazy.
Yeah, Good had that. He didn't finish it. Just I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed with Good this year, but he has definitely not like been the difference maker I thought he might be.
No, Wilson just dropped that. We dodged
yeah.
a bullet there.
That was just we got lucky.
And they're
And what are they
and they're-
doing?
I think we're in pooch punt territory here,
Yeah.
or joke punt.
Yeah, that was a very odd formation. 4th and 11, punt. Cal will have some life, and oh my goodness.
The cowardly Shaw punt would be a lot more amusing if we weren't losing by 7.
It'd also be more amusing if we would actually like take advantage of it. Like to not have anyone back to field is confusing.
Well, the important thing is we've been granted a reprieve. You know, it's going to be tough. The offense is going to have to go a long ways, but we now have a chance to get back in this game.
I mean, at least the offense has shown their ability to move the ball down the field, so it's not completely hopeless.
We got to keep Chase upright.
Yeah.
Spencer Hall comments, just watch Stanford punt from the Cal 34 AMA. I mean, Jet Toner's not like had a great season. I don't know if I would trust him to make that kick. But I might as well just go for it.
The chance that like a 10-point lead in this game is super valuable.
Yeah.
I think you give him the chance at that, and what did Stanford gain in field position? The 34. Did they gain 30 yards in field position?
Yes, 30 yards. It's 1st and 10 at the Cal 4.
His career long is a 51, so it would have been right along there.
Yeah, it's tough
Hey,
position
Robbie.
tough position for Toner. Rob is having a good time in the box.
Is he having a good time right now?
Michael's
hasn't
saying,
started the
do you have any
next
more
drive.
lays? Any more lays, Rob? I gotta get more. Go find some.
No.
Should have hang on to them. Brutal.
An apple with plenty more flesh you could eat off if you were being frugal.
Guys have any questions? We have 40 viewers right now. I know you guys want to talk about this game and stop eating your feelings. Just ask away.
Oh God, that RX formation in the card stunts is going to feel real depressing in a half hour if we don't get our act together.
Feel bad for the two rally comp people who have just been stuck here this whole game in the stadium just guarding the axe.
Are they the same, or do they get to rotate?
I think it's just the same two people.
One of them looked like one of the ones that was leading the charge around Stanford Stadium from last year. After that video got zaprudered by ornery Cal fans after last year's big game.
Yeah. These Garbers,
I didn't want to mention that again.
Yeah, these Garbers stats have been really unimpressive. Like 113 yards and only 20.
We're not running the ball on 1st down here.
He still hasn't even been terrible. It's still all just those mistakes.
And he just overthrows Crawford.
All right, never mind.
Like, I don't understand why we aren't challenging downfield at all. We are not even.
Yeah, that play was designed to be a 3-yard pass.
Yeah, I think for this one they didn't want to throw deep in case it would be a pick, so they tried to go safer, shorter.
This is the problem. Like, I think when you have a defensive coach like Wilcox, like, he's gonna, instead of like think about like let's try and score, it's like let's try and not make a mistake in this position. But that's a nice play.
Better.
Okay.
All right. We got the 1st down. We got out of the shadow of our end zone.
And Crawford's hurt. Crawford got hurt. Yeah, he pulled up.
Nice route.
Yeah, he's like holding his hamstring.
Hopefully that's something he can get back in.
I hope it's just a cramp.
Hopefully. And he's standing and he's
Lower
not
body
going.
injury.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards that being minor, but
Another 2 tight end set. Garber's
Chase is
going
given time.
deep,
Yes.
but that's just
Oh, he had a guy.
Nico. But that's a tough throw. Like I'm trying to see what route that was. I think that was like is that corner route? Like maybe a little flag to the other side and then corner to the outside.
I didn't see where Nico started on the play.
Yeah,
Was he
me
in the
neither.
slot?
Yeah, might have been the slot. It's 4 sacks for Stanford in this game.
Rob says Sluggo.
Got it. Yeah, so
Stanford sends 4. Chase gets away.
and the best offense for Cal.
Field.
Was that 6 yards?
6 yards a show. Third and something.
They're in about 3-ish, it looked like.
Yeah.
I know we're not probably in 4-down territory yet, but the concept of punting it away to Stanford right now just feels anathema to me.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, really.
But you're gonna have to punt if you're here. I mean, the 23-yard line, that's basically game over if you miss it.
Looks like Brown's
Um,
back on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been in
what-
for most of this drive.
And that is
Chase panicked.
Good.
brutal.
He didn't need to do that.
But no
We
one
had
was
the 3-man rush shut down, and he just
I think that's
panicked.
Schaefer's 3rd sack of the game.
I mean, that was a good job from our left tackle. Like, he didn't have a chance at Chase until Chase stepped up for no reason.
Yeah, the play design has just not been effective. I just don't see like
Oof.
Cal's receiving. That's a terrible punt. Terrible punt. That's gonna net us, I think, 25 yards. Let me see how long it was. 32-yard punt from Shahan. Yeah, I think just in the post-mortem of this game, if it keeps on going the way it is, it's just really tough to beat like a team like Stanford if you don't like have like a decisive lead late in the game, where it's like 10 points or 14 points, like because if it's like within difference, like Stanford can play most of their like normal sets, but if they have to pass a lot, it's gonna be tougher.
I guess I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. I mean, the reality is Stanford is a bad football team, and we are also a bad football team. I mean, I still think that we're better than Stanford generally, but we're mistake prone. We made mistakes against UCLA. We made mistakes against Oregon State. At a certain point, and you keep making mistakes, you can't say, "Oh, it's too bad we made those mistakes," and just acknowledge as a fan that this is a mistake-prone team that will keep making mistakes, and that's just an inherent character of the team, probably.
On the
You're
flip
not
side,
wrong. It's just surprising because Wilcox's coaching has usually been having a pretty disciplined, mistake-free team.
Yeah. I was also on the flip side. It's weird that Stanford is not making more mistakes and Oregon State is not making more mistakes because those are also mistake-prone teams as well. You know, like they're bad on the aggregate, but they're not.
Oregon State had some mistakes. Mostly they're from Gebbia.
Yeah.
And I would push back a little on Cal not being mistake-prone under Wilcox. The defense has not been mistake-prone. The offense has been pretty mistake-prone throughout Wilcox's tenure. Special teams hasn't really been mistake-prone until this year.
So we've usually been pretty good about protecting the ball, I would say. It's just
that's true.
We've been just dropping everything.
Like we had very few lost fumbles last year, certainly.
Yeah.
So it's going to hurt if we lose this game because of 2 lost fumbles. In fact, I'm going to have to go look that up now. How many fumbles we had last year? It was not very many.
Yeah, I think one thing Shaw was really smart about, is that he knew Cal's punting was bad, so why not just keep punting?
Yeah.
Like the punts did turn out to work for him today. Like he punted from the 34, and now Stanford has the ball back in midfield again.
That was a good play by Hicks, though, in the backfield.
That was a good play, yeah.
Although we
that
lost
was
4
banging,
fumbles in 13 games last year. 2
Okay.
fumbles today.
Clock is running. I would say Cal probably has at most 2 possessions left. So
Maybe
basically,
all of our special teams troubles have been because we've been practicing onside kicks, and we're just going to get an onside kick and win this.
I mean, that's what we bring you here for, Leland, the optimism.
That's what I'm known for, not hating life.
Big defensive stop needed here on 3rd and 3. Yeah, it's
And
basically
Stanford will not risk a 4th down conversion attempt on this drive, I don't think.
100%, no.
I mean, their best offense has been punts, so at least in the aggregate.
Yeah, Tevis had a good game in the start. He's been pretty quiet since.
They are going to pass on 3rd down. Oh, just easy. That was too easy.
Yeah. How can you not be right on top of these guys at the line to gain mark at this point in the game when a 3rd down conversion is so damaging?
Yeah, it's just like
that was a huge cushion that Newseum gave him.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, what Stanford's going to do in this position. Like, they're just going to play close to the line of scrimmage. They're not going to take deep shots up 7.
Especially not on 3rd down.
No. 7 minutes left. This clock is going to get to 5 at the very least.
And if Stanford kicks a field goal here, this game is over.
Yeah. And they're just getting all the blocks now.
Nothing like sitting in a chair, quarantining at home, watching Stanford drain the life force out of me.
To be fair, this would be 10 times worse if we were there.
I guess. I mean, I've seen lots of big game losses in person too, so at least I don't have to listen to the Stanford band.
Yeah, 3rd and short again, and this is basically as close as you can to get to must stop.
Yeah.
Because they're technically out of field goal range right now. I think another 1st down would put them in it.
If we lose a game to Stanford and they have 3 punts from inside the 40, I'm going to have to commit a crime.
Just make sure it's petty.
What level crime? Yeah.
Stealing chewing gum?
I don't know, at least a misdemeanor.
Nick, that's overreacting.
My wife disagrees with my pledge of lawlessness.
Felony? Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful
we got
play.
Although now
Oh,
Stanford
thank
won't be
God.
able to punt from inside the 40.
Cameron Good. Finally, big play from Good, and Cal is still alive with 5 minutes left.
So we're going to get the ball at 4:30 and need 2 scores.
And then,
Well, I mean, we might be playing for overtime here.
That would be very 2020.
4 sacks for the Cal defense.
Okay.
I mean, Cal defense has done their job. It's just the short fields. It's just
Yeah.
really frustrating.
I mean,
Yeah, they've let Stanford drive the length of the field once. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, the
I've been
last
pretty
drive.
happy with the front 7 today.
And Cal again.
Another.
Cal
90
again is going to
yards in
start.
4 minutes.
So if we want
Well-
just like average field position for Stanford today has been their own 39. Average field position for Cal has been their own 21.
Yeah.
18
And this-
yards. Wow.
And then if in the second half, since Cal went behind 24-17, it's been Cal 29, Cal 17, Cal 23. Oh, sorry, Cal 20, Cal 22, Cal 4, Cal 10. So they have not had a drive outside their own 30 in this game.
Well, on the bright side with this drive, we're going to have 4 plays to gain 10 yards because this is clearly it. You score a touchdown here or you lose.
Yeah.
So when we go 3 and out and punt, you can blame me is what I'm saying.
Rob is cold.
Oh, so I'm guessing the press box is like open with a bunch of all the windows open
Probably.
for airflow.
Yeah, Cal's really good at interrupting my life and making it less productive. Good call, Alex. I like what you're thinking. But you do realize there are some random minorities on here.
Wait, what are we getting blamed for this time?
I think it's
I'm assuming it's a reference to my 3 and out punt comment.
Yes.
Michael asks, who on Cal's offense presently has the Sean Javid-like speed? I mean,
Nobody.
Damian Moore came the closest, but he got chased down.
Yeah. He's almost at 100 yards rushing, which I don't remember the last time we had a 100-yard rusher in a game.
And yeah, we're talking about 2 guys who had elite NFL speed.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if this offense has, other than maybe some of the true freshmen, I'm not sure if this offense has anybody with like elite college speed.
Not at this point, no. Our wide receivers have not shown like the ability to game break. In like the couple years they've been here.
Yeah, like Crawford and Remigio both probably, and Polk too probably. I have like, I would say average college wide receiver speed.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we
Garbers
protect
gets a couple yards on the flat.
Okay.
reasonable
So-
protection there.
Hurry up offense now for Cal. 4 minutes left. Bears need to get something going.
Oh god, he only got 3 yards. They really hurt him on the slide there.
Yeah, the slide was just not good. More up the middle.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So
Breaks
that's
the
the 100-yard rusher today.
Damian Moore showing himself today.
I was just about to say that it's questionable to have more in there if we need him for pass protection, and he goes and proves me wrong. I'll take it.
Yeah,
One of the
really,
consistent abilities of the Cal offense has been running well when they don't expect us to run.
exactly. Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
QB
We're
draw right
moving
there.
it.
Like 7-8 yards.
Yeah, 3.5 left. Bears are going to be at midfield. They don't have to get super rushed up now. They just have to complete the drive, which, easier said than done. But it's a second and short, which allows a lot of options here. And it's another run, another
Okay.
first down.
Yeah, see when we're keeping the defense off balance, they're respecting the throw.
Yeah,
I don't
3
think-
minutes left. Cal's going to have to, I wouldn't say hurry it up, but it'd be nice to just keep the pace moving a little bit quicker than needed. Oh, nice.
Another easy play.
Another easy
I don't know.
first
At
down.
this rate, we're Mike with the score too fast.
I mean, Stanford is not known for their 2-minute
I guess that's a
offense.
problem I'd like to
I
have.
still wouldn't
Yeah.
want to risk that.
I mean, I mean, at this point, yeah, those are the problems you want to have. 240 left. Oof.
Big pass rush.
Just a quick drop to poke.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, get the yards you
5
need.
yards.
It's kind of sad because like you see this offense and you're like, if Cal played like this the entire game, like they would have more than 17 points right now.
Mm-hmm.
2:15 left. 2nd and 5, empty set, tight end, 3 wide receivers to the right. There's gonna be options deep downfield. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, Garber's had that too. That was like right there for him.
Yeah, he had leverage inside in the end zone.
It was all streak routes down the right side of the field. And yeah, Remigio just totally missed him.
And he knows it.
Definitely a tough throw though. Like it's not easy. So it's 3rd and 5, 2 minutes left. Basically 4-down territory. Garber's first
Easy.
down.
There you go. I wonder if Stanford considers using any of their timeouts to try to preserve time for their own drive if they need it.
Doubtful. At 40 left. Bears sticking to their starters at this point. Just all shotgun, I would imagine, the rest of the game. Tight end, Reinwold, Moore. Yeah.
Why did Chase flush outside there? Chase's
That's-
pocket presence just hasn't been where I would expect it to be.
Yeah, 100. Still only at 150 yards passing, which is just you can't even describe how disappointing that is after his performance last year. Against a better Stanford defense.
I don't know. He's never been taking over the games through the air, and we've been running so well. I think that explains why he's been passing so little.
Yeah, but still 6 yards per pass is like really not good for a quarterback, and that's just another throwaway.
Rushing
Jesus.
4. Yeah, I mean they're just dropping 7, 8 guys back in coverage, and
Yeah.
50% of the time Garbers can find the right man, and then for the other 50%, you get plays like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're taking a lot of. Looks like we're running like a lot of wide receivers downfield at this point. It's not like that's been our strength on this drive.
I think it's based on what Stanford's doing. Stanford's only rushing 3 or 4 guys, so we need to flood the field with our own receivers.
Yeah, but there should be like an intermediate route open, like
I bet.
a drag route or something, and then 3rd and oh
And it worked. Wow, what a gutsy call.
fascinating.
Chris Brown,
Okay.
of all people, too, with the carry. This has been a
First
weird
thing.
game.
Oh, I
That
don't.
was, yeah.
What a
that-
strange game.
Who was that tight end pulling? That Tonjes?
Yeah,
That helped out.
a minute 15 left. Someone I think asked in the comments. I haven't been looking at them because I don't want to spoil it. Should Cal go for 2 in this situation? I'm like, no, but maybe. A minute 15.
I'm the most aggressive guy on the planet, but I don't really.
Fade route.
That's pass
That's
interference. Give me the flag. Come on.
That should be a flag, but nothing doing.
That guy didn't get his head around at all. He was all over him.
They never call. Yeah, that should have been a flag.
I like
That's-
the jab step from Kakoa, but the Stanford guy didn't really bite on it.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. I mean, Garbers can run this in. Just
Yeah.
just run a draw.
Or even Moore or Brown.
Oh
Oh,
no, bad, very bad. I don't understand that play. 3rd and goal. Okay, will
Stanford
start
calling
using-
their own timeout.
Merit, they are thinking about maybe a last minute drive. Boy,
Cardiac Cal all over again.
it's
I mean-
also like, yeah.
I feel
Um,
lucky that we're in this position. I mean, Stanford, how many drives in a row down there did they get past the 40 but fail to get into field goal range? And just one field goal we'd be doomed right now. It's
I mean,
it's a minor miracle that we're in a position to tie this game.
I mean, think about that field goal at the end of the half. We have that field goal. This is like a drive to win.
Yeah,
That-
that would be nice too.
That has been haunting me for this whole drive of are we going to regret it if we just had to go to overtime because we missed that field goal?
Special teams, man. It's the third element, the third stupid element of this stupid football game. Oh, the stupid game we call football. Brand new definition
Rob
of
is
cardiac.
pantomiming things and I'm not understanding it.
He wants me to read this comment. There's a brand new
Oh.
definition of cardiac cal when our offense only starts beating a pulse when we're about to lose. I mean, that was kind of Baldwin's offense too. This isn't really like a new thing under Wilcox. Like the offense will have these moments where they just don't start playing. Like the Washington game last year, the Stanford game last year. Ole Miss, like I think Ole Miss took an early lead, and then suddenly Cal kicked into high gear after that, and then they turtled. Like this is kind of, it's a pattern. We have not seen Cal play consistent offense. And you can look at their losses last year. Similarly, Oregon State, I think similar kind of issues, where we take a lead and then just kind of sit on it. So, and Oregon State this year. Well, here it is, man. Seems like we are headed for the what do we call here on third down?
Seems
Either-
like our most successful plays are the ones where we managed to get a tight end leaking out unnoticed.
I was gonna, like a rollout with that option, tight end, fullback option, or even just a Garbers run option.
I have a good feeling about this play.
Boy, this is
Oh,
That's a
apparently
stare
we're
off
going
for
to
the
get stupid
ageist.
axe face off.
there was a stare off. It actually happened. A
At
minute.
least it's with masks. That helps somehow.
Yeah. Third and goal. And very deep close up of the football. Three tight end right, two wide receivers left. It's a run, touchdown. Pretty straightforward. Good blocking by the lineman up front. And I think we're an extra point away from overtime.
Have we had
Hey,
an
check the-
overtime big game before?
It's been a while. Not in my lifetime.
I mean,
Overtime
our
was only-
lifetimes. Yeah.
only time
Overtime
was
didn't
only
exist
created
before
in
our
our lifetime.
It is now commonplace this year for me to worry about extra points, so I'm not taking this for granted. Injury now for Stanford.
I'm trying to decide, am I more worried about Stanford using the last minute they have to score or us missing an extra point?
Definitely an extra point.
All right. So in 2000, the big game went to overtime.
Yes.
The first ever overtime
I'm,
big game.
I'm sure I
20
was
years.
at that game, and yet I don't remember it. It was clearly in the middle of our Ty Willingham punching Tom Holmoe with his own hand era.
Stanford won 36-30.
I'm
Yeah, I do
sure
remember-
15-year-old me was irate about it, but
And it's
You had to have known, like they were overloading the one side of the line, so they've
I
definitely
saw
seen
it. Same
something.
formation as last time.
wait, there's a flag? Is
Maybe
this on
excessive
Stanford?
celebration.
It's probably Celebration.
So that doesn't matter. But
Are we going to
Yeah.
follow up the worst special teams game of all time with the worst special teams game of all time?
I
Just-
think this one, last week's was historic. This is just like sad. This is just like, there's no way to describe it, man. Like, this is the same play, same block, same formation.
you just either made that field goal or made this point after.
The only thing I can think of is maybe the guy jumped another player to do the blocks.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the illegal stuff.
Yeah.
Are they gonna? If they call that, then maybe we're okay. But let's see.
They're talking about it a long time. Illegal celebration isn't usually something you'd have to spend a long time discussing.
Maybe they're just catching up and making sure everyone's okay in the pandemic.
Well, then sportsmanlike doesn't matter. I'll just be on the kickoff. More on sportsmanlike.
Oh,
So I don't understand. Is that
well,
it's
this will
the kickoff?
This will be great for our ability to get field position after our onside kick.
Look at that. That's terrible cover. That's just. Mm.
Well, Justin Wilcox did pretty much the same thing I did in reaction to that play.
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
I will just be positive and say the silver lining is maybe this gets Rob closer to his dream of seeing Tommy Kristiakos kick a point after.
Will it get closer to our dream of seeing Tommy Kristiakos successfully block in a point after? Hey, we get the miscues graphic on the broadcast. Go Bears!
And what,
The Oregon
4 or
State
5
one,
are
yeah.
special teams.
The Oregon State one was just historic. Like that was an easy Cal win that just turned into a loss. This one is just derp a herp. Because
I mean, I don't see the distinction, honestly. We have two games that were really close, and
Yeah.
special teams was the difference between winning and losing. It's just that simple.
But Oregon State, there was at least that interception at the end that was not on special teams. This one, you can really pinpoint a lot of turning points on special teams.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could throw the Dancy fumble into that. You know,
You could, yeah. But there's still so many special, like, if we literally make that final point after or the field goal, then this is a different game.
yeah. Well, special teams now has an incredible chance to redeem themselves on this upcoming onside kick attempt. I'm sure we're all.
I'm
super
sure we've been
optimistic about
practicing
that.
onside so much.
all right, onside kick. Boy, success rate was going to be like what, 2%?
Mhm.
That was offside. I haven't
I
glanced.
want to say, in the NFL, an anticipated onside kick attempt is recovered like, I want to say 8 to 10% of the time by the kicking team.
But how many of those times are just Youngwei Koo making Rob proud?
Well, like I said, the Berkeley Health Department was totally correct. It should not have been Cal football this year. And we asked for this. This is why you listen to the doctors, fellas. Always listen to your doctors. Wilcox just has like that 1,000-yard stare. He looks like he wants to eat like his.
I just love that the most anticipated Cal season in at least 10 years
At least,
might
yeah.
end with Cal going 0-5.
We might go 0-6. There's still that one bonus game.
That's right. Woohoo!
Cal still has all 3 timeouts, so this game is not over.
This game is over.
Wilcox.
That's right. We do have 3 timeouts.
Wilcox looks like he wants to eat his mask and then just.
I like Michael Mello's comment. Wilcox looks like he's going to hurt someone. I would
Nick
agree
is
with
gonna
that.
hurt someone. He looks fine.
The someone is myself. It's so amazing to lose a game by 1 point like this. we've
with
averaged
2 block kicks.
1.4 more yards per play than Stanford.
Yeah, we have outplayed Stanford play by play. We have basically had all the 50-50 balls go against us. All the miscues were on Cal's side, not on Stanford's side. And that's the game. Unfortunately, you can be better on a per average basis, but if you make mistakes, you lose. That's college football. Such is life.
So some of you may recall that during our longer than usual off season, I wrote an article listing the 5 unluckiest Cal losses of the decade. Unlucky is a loaded word, but each of the last 2 losses fall into immediate criteria for that category.
I think this makes a case for number 1.
This is up there. I think the Hail Mary game is also up there.
The only thing is you could argue it's not luck and it's just special teams we need to shore up.
Yeah. A way to rephrase it might be like the games in which Cal most dominated but lost anyway.
Yeah.
Like on a per play basis.
Right.
The fun ones.
I'm now wondering if we should have kicked the football off and just pinned them deep. But that would have probably gotten Wilcox like actual heat for this season if he had done that.
Yeah.
3rd and 4. This is the game. I think I put us out of our misery. Yes, they put us out of our misery. Thank God. Don't have to think about this anymore.
I mean,
Wow.
I just don't feel misery about this. I'm dead inside. This game means
David
nothing to me.
Shaw.
David Shaw will now move to 8-1. No, 9-1. 9-1. 9-1, the big game.
I mean, I know pandemic season and everything, but this is a game that will radically cause Cal fans to radically reevaluate their feelings about Justin Wilcox. Fair or unfair, that's just reality. When you lose to Stanford for the 3rd time in 4 attempts, and you lose in this fashion, that's just how it works. College coaches get paid too much money to get free passes on anything.
Well, I mean, I think if Charlie Ragle, I mean, Ragel's going to be the fall guy because like he's now cost Cal 2 games. I don't think Cal ever fires coaches mid-season, but if Ragle is not sent walking, like the minute the season is over, then yeah, there's going to be actual heat. So yeah, Ragle, definitely a lot of questions around Musgrave, but this is just like special teams. We take care of that, we win. Not really much to say.
Yeah.
So
hate that man.
Congrats to Stanford on getting the axe back. I was glad I was able to enjoy it for about 2 months. And now, boy.
And now misery.
Brutal. And then they're just taking that axe away. Back to Palo Alto. Whew. Well. Yeah, not much to... Do you guys have any thoughts? Or do you want to dash off into the night, or do we want to do post game?
I don't want to do a long post game.
All right.
I guess on the bright side of a Friday game is I now have 2 days to collect my thoughts. What's there to say? We were the better team and we blew it. And Justin Wilcox has gotten a lot of mileage out of 1 win over USC and 1 win over Stanford, and each of those wins were marginal games. And he's won a lot of close games, and that pendulum is starting to swing the other way. And I don't know. If his whole thing is I'm gonna play low scoring conservative football and have the team play mistake free and win that way, then they got to play mistake free. Because if you play this style of football and you don't play mistake free, you're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think last year Cal was exceptionally lucky. Like the reason I wasn't so high in this season compared to a lot of Cal fans, like who were like saw 8-5 and were like, "Whoa, we're on the pathway," was like Cal on average was like 70th or 75th in like most like statistical rankings because they had a negative point differential. They were not explosive on offense. The defense was not the ground stopper they were the year previous. And now, if that luck can easily turn back the other way. So that's kind of what the season has been like. Now we're starting to lose like these close games because we're not finishing on offense and we're not, playing as mistake-free football as we did the past 2 years.
Yeah, and
I mean, I think he had great success the past couple of years, but a lot of that was being carried by the defense. And not to say the defense is doing poorly, but it's not the same stout, unbreakable, game-changing unit that it was last year.
Yeah, and especially I think 2 years ago when the offense was just terrible, but the defense was elite.
Like
last year was a little more balanced.
I like Garbers, but there's a lot of people acting like he was this game-changing. He's always like winning all of our games and saying he was better than Goff in that aspect. But a lot of that was getting carried by the defense.
Yep.
And we just don't have that anymore. Coupled with all the other mistakes we made on special teams and fumbles.
Yeah.
Struggling.
No, there's some clear regression happening. Like, we were counting, I think, both because fans want to be optimistic and because this is something that had to happen for the season to be successful, was Jared Goff at his best from last year carrying over this year, and that hasn't happened. And we can debate as to why, but the reality is Cal needs Jared Goff to play like he played at his best in 2019, and if they don't get that, they're not going to win a game, maybe. Like, honestly, that this team could very easily finish the season without a win.
Which sucks, and not super thrilled about it. Again, I think I've talked to Nam about this like privately, but I think the biggest thing for me is like if we're just losing games like super close, but we're not like getting embarrassed. It's just like really frustrating games we could have won that we've lost. It's not like a total failure of execution, like like a early Sonny Dykes team or like a late Tedford team. So it's still frustrating that we're like losing these games, but we're like still in it. It's just frustrating that we're on the flip side of like not being able to finish. And I know it like really hurts to lose a game like this, but it's also, we have to keep in mind it's like super strange to lose on a missed extra point and like 4 punt breakdowns. And I think in terms of like impact on the program, I'm not certain if it's going to be like as disastrous as like like a Tedford team like losing like 6 in a row or not playing so well. Yes, Jai, I am mad as well. Insanely.
I don't have those
Welcome to Cal
emotions.
football.
Just be like me and just be dead inside, and then these games don't affect you.
Basically.
I don't think I'm as mad as I was after some of the Sonny Dykes era big games when we just didn't even try to win. Like, we had opportunities to try to do things to win and just like gave up.
Yeah.
I tend to try to be more forgiving of player physical mistakes, like, getting blown up trying to block for a point after, but that doesn't make it fun, that's for sure.
No. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I think I assume we would get a lot more out of the offense this year. They just haven't really shown it. They showed it in spurts, like first drive, last drive, or first drive, first quarter, down by 7, they'll show up again. But yeah, this is a weird 0-3. It's like I haven't felt like the first game I don't even think about anymore, and like the last 2 games have just been very fluky. Like this feels like a 2-1 football team, not an 0-3 football team. Jittery asks, so when are we getting a new special teams coordinator? Cal does not fire guys mid-season. That's never happened since I've been here. We are not the Alabama type who will do that sort of thing. I imagine a change is coming. People are going to be mad after this game. Very, very mad. And Cal fans don't usually get mad about stuff, but this was pretty bad.
I mean, Alomar was a meme, and there was never a performance that bad from Pete Alomar.
No, there'd be like one breakdown or two breakdowns. There'd be like one game that he'd lose, maybe once every 2 years, but two games in a row.
Or we get like really mad that Reggie Bush had a long punt return, and it's like, well, yeah, it would be nice if we stopped that, but also it's Reggie Bush, a generational college player. They make plays.
We could have gone for 2. That's interesting. I was thinking about that, and I think we talked about that for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If you miss that, people are gonna be like, you lost the big game on a.
I mean, but at the same time, if we knew we had special teams issues and seeing it as a gutsy, just taking the win, I could, even if we lost on that kind of a call, it's like when we went for 2 against Arizona in double overtime or whatever a few years ago.
Yeah, nobody was mad about that.
Yeah, there's sometimes when that aggression, I could see people forgiving.
I go back and forth. Like, I try to think about what were the odds that we would convert a 2-point conversion, considering everything we've seen from the offense all game long. And I don't know the answer to that question.
Hey Rob, how you doing?
Rob is going to go to the saddest press conference of all time.
Okay.
Well, the press
they're
conference
not
is,
doing press conferences. It's still virtual.
That's also
Well,
all
that's
virtual.
that's partly what makes it sad.
as you can see, I'm walking down the stairs of Memorial Stadium from the 7th floor.
Daniel asked the
Down.
eternal question: could the season cause Wilcox look elsewhere?
No,
Well,
I don't see
No.
where.
his,
I don't
his
see that
stock is not
connection
high
of-
right now.
Yeah, I don't see the connection of him struggling here making him want to leave. It's not.
Well, yeah,
and-
I think the only. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know some people are going to say because the city of Berkeley issues, but this is a once in a generational. Like, how many times are the city of Berkeley causing him to shut down in a pandemic? Is that can happen again? I don't
Well,
see this causing him to look elsewhere.
Well, and when we talk about looking elsewhere, I don't think another program would really want to hire him as a head coach. He could probably get any defensive coordinator position in the nation that he wants, but I doubt he's super interested in taking that kind of a pay cut. So
Yeah, and he has, I think,
Some
3 years.
defensive
still
coordinator
guaranteed.
positions aren't a pay cut compared to what we're paying him.
It's true.
Clemson
think,
DC makes more than our head coach.
Yeah, I think the thing with Wilcox, I mean, he had to be like coaxed into taking this job because like he never really thought about being a head coach until like the opportunity presented itself at Cal, like after Sonny got fired. So I think maybe it's like more of a, do I really want to be a head coach, and as opposed to like just enjoying like the anonymity of being like a DC who no one cares about. But I would be really shocked if this season has any impact on him, because it's just like, what do you make of a year? What do you make a year where you have to schedule a football game like 48 hours in advance, right? Like that's not like that's not like an indicator of good coaching. That's an indicator of just like playing a football game because your school needs money. That's like not really a good indicator of like how good a coach you are. So I'd be surprised.
I want to see anything in something particular from Memorial Stadium as in this empty concourse.
I'm going to peel back the curtain and say, are you taking pictures, Rob?
I am.
Good.
I have.
Cool.
I've
Thank
taken
you,
a bunch
sir.
already.
Awesome.
Can you go find the axe? The two people who have the axe right now are super old.
You look
they're
like
like-
you could take them in a fight.
Yeah, if you can take them right now and become a hero for all of us.
I'm pretty sure they've already run over to the bus and loaded it on. in the middle left.
Oh, that's quitter talk, Rob.
Yeah, you can do this.
Earlier, we were
Yukon-
discussing how I would need to commit a misdemeanor, but turns out that we actually want you to commit the misdemeanor.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably more than a misdemeanor, but Rob's young. He can get away with that.
No, it's a misdemeanor because it just falls under the general legal concept of boys will be boys hijinks.
But is this how Riper, California turns into a gang? Like, is this my initiation?
Yeah.
Like,
It's always been a gang. We show up on weekends in parking lots and drink beer. That's a gang.
No, I don't drink the beer.
I can try to come up with a Jets versus Sharks style song parody.
But I mean, we'll say it is beautiful here today. It's not the football.
Michael asks, are there any position coaches in jeopardy at the end of the season also?
Just one.
No,
Yeah.
one.
Well, it's because
I would say our DBs. Go ahead, Rob.
well, I'm just saying it's the one dude, which is probably Regal right now, and then all of the other position coaches you might consider have just signed on.
Yeah.
So you're not going to fire them after 1 year unless they're absolutely abysmal. But the talent that they have at those rooms, like let's say the DB room with Marcel Yates, it has enough talent there to carry him, even though his coaching might be not up to par. And we just won't know that until a couple of years down the road, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think there is beyond probably right now probably be Regal, but yeah,
I think the offensive coaching staff is probably going to get a COVID mulligan.
yeah.
And the defensive
absolutely.
coaching staff is not really seen as a problem.
Yep.
So
Yeah. You guys have any questions? Yeah, just feel free to leave them. Seems like a lot of people are just like, yeah, this is Cal being Cal.
this is a whole nother level.
This will. Yeah.
This is probably
This will go down for me as that Arizona game. With Tavecchio.
Which one, the double over- the double overtime?
No, before this was still Tedford days, where Tavecchio missed a field goal and then they caught some crazy like end of
Tyree
game
level catch. Yeah.
Yeah, this was Tedford era. This would be one of those games where there are a few special teams plays that swung the game that we will regret.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a worse loss to Stanford. And what I mean by that, like, obviously we've lost to Stanford in all kinds of different ways. It's rare that I feel like we were clearly the better team than Stanford and just gave the game away.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah, because we outplayed them for the most part. They had that one good drive, and other than that, we pretty much outplayed them. It's just coming down to a few special teams, a few fumbles would have been nice to have back.
Like, I want to say that this might be, if you go back and look at the last decade of Cal football and you look at the yards per play deficit, there are very few games that you win or lose when you control yards per play. I think there's only one game that I am aware of where Cal has had a bigger yards per play advantage and lost. And that was the infamous 24-17 loss to Arizona, where Brandon McElwain turned the ball over every other possession. You're
actually probably. I hate that game more than this one. That game made me.
But this is
angry.
Stanford. I mean, I hate Arizona too, but it just doesn't stand up to losing to David Shaw. If this game happened against non-Stanford, it would be legendary in the pain it caused, and it happened to Stanford in a season where we might not win a game.
I'm gonna have to agree with Nick. Like, we made David Shaw happy and emote. That is a new low that very few football teams can accomplish. And we could tell him he was emoting with a fucking mask on. That's how happy we made him. Although I have to say, as much as I don't want to say anything nice about Stanford, I will have to give him credit because David Shaw had the best mask, proper usage of any coach we've seen all year.
That's proper mask technique. So if you're writing coaches by masks, he did well.
Unfortunately, David Shaw is at the top of that list.
Might not be a coincidence that Stanford is one of the few teams in the conference that hasn't been felled by COVID infections.
Yeah.
Brian asks, how do we explain Musgrave's inability to get into a rhythm? Is it a personnel issue or coaching?
I mean, the line is going to play a huge part of that, right?
And I will continue to give a COVID incomplete on that they probably didn't have a full install, so maybe that's what the issue is.
You
Yeah.
can look at all kinds of individual issues where, like, the line gave up a lot of sacks. Pretty much every sack ended a drive. The line had some stuff running plays, that I think that's just sort of the reality of playing with a patchwork offensive line, is that you're going to have trouble getting offensive consistency. I'm a little more concerned about Chase just being inaccurate more so than we're used to. But, again, that might come down to him not being super comfortable with the playbook. So,
Yeah.
27. Iman talks about the 2017 big game. Yeah, I remember Cal and Stanford. 3-point win for Stanford. Stanford actually dominated that game, but they just didn't score.
that was the one that
Bowers through the long pick.
Bowers through the long pick. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say I'd say that I'd file that under we could have won if we had made some plays, but
yeah,
I would say that Stanford was still pretty clearly the better team.
Yeah, today really was one of those we pried defeat out of the jaws of victory or whatever. This felt like one of those games.
Is this karma for the Texas game? Because I don't want it.
And for that Wazoo missed final kick.
Yeah, it felt like we were due. Yeah, we won
I'd
2
trade
games.
both of those for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah, we were definitely due for a Caldit type of game. We've been overdue. We've been overdue for quite some time.
I mean,
It just feels like we're getting them
until
all
last
this
week.
season, week after week after week for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's true. We've experienced just every unique variety of nut punch that exists in the world of college football.
So, am I allowed to leave this Forsaken ground for this week?
You do what you need to do, Rob.
Yeah, keep on
All
going.
right.
We're just gonna keep on going.
I'm gonna
If
slowly
you-
walk out of the stadium, and you guys can be on stream with me just to make sure I don't get jumped by anybody. And
Yeah.
if they do, they're caught on tape on live TV.
Yeah.
If you need to
good.
go to Kingpins and order a baker's dozen for yourself, and then pick up a 6-pack in a paper bag to go with it, I fully understand.
Just jump back on stream because we need to mukbang that.
I don't know. Oh God, this is frustrating.
Daniel's
So-
asking, how do our players' NFL chances look?
I mean, I don't think Garbers was a huge NFL prospect even before the season. Like he
Not
probably
really,
was like
no.
a late round at best. But Cam, he hasn't stood out outside of that one pick against UCLA. Has he had any other huge memorable plays?
I'd have to think about how much they're throwing at him, because sometimes, a
yeah.
successful cornerback doesn't even get thrown at.
The Nam Diasmoa issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He hasn't targeted that much. I think Chiggy
That's fair.
and Chiggy's side has been more of the focus or the nickelback.
I'm struggling to think of, like, if the next NFL draft, guys who would for sure be picked. I mean, Coindang maybe has the size and projectability to get some NFL interest, even if his on-field play doesn't scream NFL ready. And it's kind of a problem for Cal, is they have a lot of guys who are good but not like obvious NFL caliber players.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Cam
TD.
good in that category too.
Yeah, Bynum did give up the touchdown, but you were right. There was the OPI potential
Yeah.
on
And
that one.
2 other low-key swing plays was the OPI not getting called on that play, and then the holding or defensive PI, I can't remember which
Yeah,
they
no,
called. I think it was hold.
It was
The
hold.
hold getting called on the interception. Either one of those plays could have easily been reversed. And I don't blame the refs for either call. Those are the type of 50-50 calls that you need to be good enough to win anyway. And Cal would have been good enough to win despite those calls if they hadn't screwed up in other ways that they controlled.
Yeah, inconsistency, understandable. We just made the worst play at the worst timing ever. That's Cal. That's us.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know which play you're talking about, but you have to be more specific.
Yeah, we have somebody to pick from. So many options.
I don't want to look back at it, but I have to look back to see if both blocked kicks were overloaded at the same side of the line, same position, same block.
I think they were both left side blocks.
I think they were both
is
left
my
side, yeah.
recollection.
I
remember-
think they
yeah.
were. I don't want to look at it.
Just go by Nick, what Nick said, and then if it isn't, then we blame Nick.
That's fair.
Stanford wins despite only averaging 2.7 yards per rush, 3.8 yards per rush if you would take the sacks out. Cal averaged 8.5 yards per rush, 6.9 without the sacks, and then 6.9 yards per rush on the game. Stanford did beat us on third down, 8 of 17. Cal was 5 of 14, but they were 2 of 10 before that last drive. Stanford committed 6 penalties for 75 yards. Cal only committed 1. But yeah, that came down to the passing game. Stanford had 205 yards passing, Cal 151, and like about half 50 of those yards came in the last drive, I think.
I do. Whenever an interesting game happens, I like to just glance at message boards to get the pulse of the fan base. Message board thread titles on Bear Insider right now. Special teams is terrible. We are 0-3 and looking at 0-5. Wilcox is on the hot seat next year. And my personal favorite, why? just why with a question mark.
I do like this tweet from Trevor Izaki that Cal might be the first football team to have lost on a Sunday, Saturday, and a Friday.
3 weeks. 3 in a row.
Yeah.
The
Variety.
worst 3-day weekend of all time.
I hate it.
That was nearly us last year, except we didn't close the ASU thing out. We had the Saturday, we Washington on Sunday.
Oh,
You hanging there, Rob?
it's so warm in my car.
What's for dinner? Michael asks.
I don't know. What is the dinner, gents? What is the move?
Tears.
Meeting your parents' food.
Okay, to
By
be
the
fair,
way-
I cooked it.
Oh, thanks.
I just dropped it off for you.
If we do in fact lose to Oregon and Washington State, and maybe even if we go 1-1, because I think we're going to be losing the tiebreakers, our most likely extra game opponent, everybody's favorite Arizona Wildcats. Yes, we get some more desert action. I
I'm
think
gonna
that this
tell you,
year
man.
is fully designed to maximize our collective misery.
If this season ends with a loss to Arizona to go 0-6, I might just have to take some time off. I don't think I can do this for a while.
Well,
can't-
do we
I
want to
can't.
have the conversation about how every single thing that we do to enhance our coverage of Cal sports just leads to worse and worse Cal sports results?
I said that yesterday. Stop the
Yeah.
stream. Steve, how many recruits are we losing this season with this nonsense?
When
None.
Zero.
signing day?
It's like a 3
Signing
weeks.
day is in like days, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of too late to lose recruits. Is sort of the reality of the recruiting cycle.
Unless Wilcox, our offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, is fired, we won't be losing any recruits.
Do we have any recruits in Arizona, Rob?
Kai.
Oh, crap. Okay. I can't imagine he's going to be like bummed because Charlie Ragel's not here. So
But we never know. So
I'm not trading. I'll give up a quarterback to get rid of Ragel. I'm not even joking. That was so bad. Like, how do you not diagnose? It's the same play, the same formation. They got the first kick block. You know it's coming. Overload the other side. One guy was blocking no one.
has there ever been a college football game with 3 blocked kicks?
Almost certainly.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
sure there has, but I don't know how many were this close final score.
Well, they were all
Yeah.
varied, right? Like we got a PAT blocked, we got a punt blocked, and a field goal attempt blocked. That's That's the cycle of missed kicks.
Yeah, block punt last week, 2 block kicks this week. Pretty frustrating. I think we can
Well,
wrap
hell,
it up pretty soon.
Just this year, Boise State had a game where they returned 3 blocked kicks for touchdowns against Colorado State.
Yeah.
So, what I guess what I'm really trying to say is, we just high jumped a really impressive like 6'4", but Colorado State has set the bar really high, and I believe that we can clear that bar with more effort, and maybe we can give up 4 touchdowns off of blocked kicks. Shoot for the moon.
Yep. Charlie can do it.
Yep.
He's got to win. We're playing one of the best special teams units in the country next week, so it is within our means.
Can someone jumble my memory? How bad was the Washington State special teams doing before we got him fired after returning 2 kickoffs?
They're
Fair
probably
question.
I have no idea.
They
That's
were
gonna
they were
be-
pretty bad going in.
they've been pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I know
since.
that. So is
Do you
that
think the
enough
blocks?
cause? Yeah, I have to think that's the case.
It's a
from
possibility.
Charlie. Yeah.
I know Avi was speculating earlier that all the guys who would be blocking on kicks were instead having to spend practice time learning, the offensive side of things. I don't know precisely what the lineups are, but it seems plausible.
Well, we had 3 of our 5 offensive linemen on that first block field goal stay on the field when the teams were being changed out for the kicking unit. So if that's 3 out of 5 already on the line there, on top of the fact that we basically didn't have most of our defensive linemen today again, because Stanley was out, Maldonado's out for the year, and then and then it's just like Brett Johnson knows. So yeah, we're down a significant number, but next week might get better just because I was talking to Avi about this. Was just all the offensive linemen that have missed games has forced the backups to play, and the backups haven't played terribly, which means now we have like a 9 or 10 man rotation at offensive line with guys with starting experience going into the last 2 games. So some silver lining, positivity.
You missed my earlier suggestion that next year, with 9 returning starters on the offensive line, we could just run the full Shaw offense: 9 linemen, a running back, and a quarterback.
You want to run the Cal version of the Ogre package? That's what you want to do.
I don't actually want to, but
It's an option.
Or can we buy a hat like obviously? I don't know if they still sell these, but
Where'd you get
You
them?
can buy
Is it
Avi's for 1,000 bags of Lay's chips.
yeah, get those chips. Get those chips coming.
Yeah, you can buy that on Avi's OnlyFans page.
Oh God. Yes, many great things to find on that site. Yeah, so it looks like things are winding down here. Any last thoughts before we wrap up today?
I'm sad.
Can we look forward a bit? Can we talk about the Oregon game for like 5 minutes and then we'll call it a day?
Ooh, no,
end
why
on
would
a
I
little
want to
bit of-
talk
You want to talk about
that
the
game?
Oregon game? No one wants to talk
I'd
about
rather
Oregon
talk
right
about
now.
that. I'd
I
rather
mean-
talk about that than me sitting in the cold and watching this game all over again.
I think I directly compared the OSU and UCLA experience, as I'd rather just it become clear that we're going to lose early on and not have to worry about it. So that'll be the nice part about the Oregon game, is we'll just, maybe lose by 17 and we can just sort of shrug and move on with our lives, rather than the 3.5 hours of will they, won't they torture from today.
Kuji asked, any thoughts on the linebacking play? I mean, if I look correctly, I think Coney had a pretty good game. He had 14 tackles. Brett Johnson had 10 tackles, which is insane for a defensive lineman.
For a nose guard.
Yeah.
Playing out of position, yeah. The one positive thing I was hoping for this year that's come true is that Brett Johnson is playing like the most impactful player on the defense.
There was an interesting moment, and I'm gonna have to look back on where it exactly was, but I marked it down. Where it was either on Stanford's final offensive drive, before the blocked PT, where we had Coin Dang line up at outside linebacker on the other side of Cam Good, and then the two inside linebackers were Blake Gonzalatos and Iosefa, which is
Yeah.
very surprising because that means that you're relying on the decision making of two basically freshman inside linebackers to plug the gaps when you know they're running. And the decision making to plug the specific gaps that's the huge assignment, particularly in this defense, right? It's like it has to be spot on. But I think if I remember correctly, on those two plays that I saw, they delivered. So maybe that's where we move a little bit forward to get a bit more of a pass rush. But yeah, that's my note.
Did Tattersall play? I don't think I saw him on the field.
I don't
didn't
think he
notice
played today at
him.
all. Yeah,
Interesting.
Very-
it was
Very strange.
Anselados, Iosefa, and Coin Dang basically rotating the three of them.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is like the defense played very well. I mean,
hmm
we gifted Stanford 14 points and basically made one mistake that gifted them another 7. So let's say 10 points Cal defense allowed off of unassisted mistakes, which is, every other game would be a win. Almost every other
Yeah.
universe, that's a win.
Yeah, we saw this coming from a mile away. We saw Washington's game get canceled. We saw the Washington game get canceled. Then we saw our ASU game get canceled, only to be turned around to UCLA within a 36-hour turnaround. We saw this season coming, and yet we didn't understand.
I mean, I've been dead on. I've been right on. I mean, I saw the UCLA disaster coming. Oregon State, like once those announcements happened, I was like, something weird's gonna have to happen for us to win. And then today, it's just like this was just mistakes. The mistakes changed the game. Cal should have won the last 2 weeks.
I thought
mean-
we could have beat UCLA, but then ever since then, I have been predicting losses for the past 2 weeks. I thought we were going to lose today by more than one. So
The most hilarious part about the beginning today was as soon as the game was over, Stanford's players are out on the field celebrating, right? No one is on the field. It's just literally the players and the coaches because all our guys had already left. And then like a couple minutes in, maybe like 2 minutes in to their celebrating, the PA announcers cut the fan noise.
Yeah.
And it just goes into this like very, very like a trumpet dying sound because it's like all you hear the fan noise of everyone jumping, like it sounds like everyone jumping up and down, like cheering, and then it just like wanes into like 50 players just going yeah on the field. It was that definitely had to be the highlight. They won't ever show it, sadly.
Well, I need to go get some food and wash this taste out of my mouth.
No doubt. Same. Thanks for everyone for joining us today. Whoever's left. I know we're trying to get a win on this stream. We're now 0 for 5. But we'll be back with Cal basketball on Monday. Maybe that'll change things a little bit. I think Rob and Nick will be handling
We're
that.
coming for you, Nicholls State. You are on our list.
Which will totally make up for today. Obviously, a win over Nicholls State. That's where it's coming.
Colonels, more like privates.
I thought
It
that
also
was a
has- it
general
also-
joke for a second.
Yeah, it's also a university that has Nick's name in it, so there'll be fun puns to make there.
No. I do not tolerate H's involved.
Speaking of names, going back to the last commenter, if your name is Charlie Xavier, just go for Charles Xavier and make everyone think you're a psychic. That's just roll into it.
I doubt. All right, guys. We'll see you next week for Oregon. Thanks for hanging up with us, and we'll get the axe next year. Go Bears.
Will be though.
Go